Okay, this is the only way I'm getting my audio, through the way that's not usually how you should do it through OBS. Okay? We're just gonna have to have the audio just going through what it's supposed to, what it's not, in the way that it's not supposed to. We're just doing it. Because OBS, what OBS has decided to do, okay, is the display of everything, all the windows, is off. Okay, so I just need to also just check my display settings on screen 2 over here, because it seems to think that it's a different size than what it is. So wait, what are you, screen? What are you, screen 3? You are 2560. Yeah. So that's what we're doing. Screen. No, keep changes. That's not what we're doing. What are you doing? 251440 1440 1440 1440. Okay, that's how it's gonna be. Okay, and maybe I'll be able to see everything that I fucking need to see. For fuck's sake. Oh, and look at it go. OBS is like, what the fuck is happening? Oh, honey. Change back. Keep changes. Don't revert. Be good. Alright. We're good. We're good, but I'm still gonna go and do it the way that I'm not wanting to do it. Anyway, it's cool. We will troubleshoot some other way, some other time, some other way. Let's have a go. Good evening, Kitty. I hope your day has been going fine. Hi, darling. Thank you for restarting. It was okay. It was a good day. It could have gone worse. This is unfiltered audio as well. That's another thing. Let me just change back to the other mic. I'm changing other settings. I said we were going to stick at this, but we're not. We're not going to do that. So now that everything's working and I can do it again, I'm going to change. Hi, desk mic. Hi, desk mic. You have got filters on you. Can we hear the keyboard? Can you hear the keyboard? I don't know. Probably not through this. Let's see. Oh, thanks. Making nice. Okay, so let's see. Let's see if you can even hear A. I put A. Did you hear that? If I'm gonna, I was recording through StreamYard and I didn't like it, so I'm gonna try and record through here. So that does mean that I can just spend some time on it. I switched back to NJ80 and forgot how much I love it. What, the keyboard? Oh, why? Oh, you can't hear it? There'll have to be like some separate mic. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe it's just because I didn't type enough. I will see what I can do with Sonar, which I have Steel Series Sonar on my computer. See if I can do something with that and gaming. But there's so much stuff. Okay. You know what? Just to get me out of this, I'm gonna talk about something positive for a second. So let me actually change the subject for a second. Okay. Just make me feel positive. So I'm going to get a different browser up. And if I could just open it, that would be great. Okay, so you can stay minimized, and I can open this up here. Let me just check my preview for a second. Hi, Lucy. Okay, preview is bright and purpley, and there is a bit of a lag, but we're okay, guys. We're okay. We're somewhat okay. I'm disengaging the preview, so that might help. Okay. So here's the other thing that I was talking about. So I said in the previous failed stream that we would start a well, not that we would start, that I would talk about something else, right? I switched for fun. My oldest uses the Keychron V3, so I'm always switching anyway. I usually switch to my Alice, but that would go back until my PS. Damn, the spacebar sounds amazing. You got this. Thanks, Lucy. So the first thing so the reason I'm going to do this is just so I can just get out of my mood, being pissed off with everything in myself, and talk about something more positive. I had a very positive moment today, and it didn't turn into a video. It's a recording, but I'm not going to release it. I'm going to re-record and make it better. So what I was going to but I'll still talk about it to you guys because you're here. You know, I don't. It doesn't matter. I wanted to talk to you guys about it live anyway. It was very strange doing a recording without chat to look at. So yeah. Any hoodles. What I wanted to talk about was going beyond debate diagrams. So to Dawn diagrams, you got this purple glow about you, isn't it? It's like I did it on purpose. So yeah, the Dawn diagrams. So we have our debate diagrams. We're good with those, right? We're happy with those. There is, because you can diagram everything, right? Blueberry Girl from Chocolate Factory. Well, chocolate, as long as the chocolate factory is not a candy factory, we're good. You can still call it a chocolate factory. Hey, I brought back that joke. Okay, so you can diagram anything, right? So yeah, this is the little thought diagram that we got here. I thought of they're darn diagrams. You can diagram anything. We had Candy and Liberty. We had conversations. We had debates. So that's what we were doing previously. Wasn't going so well, but we'll get there. And the reason I started thinking about going beyond debate diagrams is submarine implosions, particularly the one that we all know about. That one was the first thing I wanted to diagram that wasn't a debate. So cool, I was going to do it, ran out of time, and that got me to the things I haven't done diagram, which would be very large. But then we would just be talking about all the things that I want to do that I haven't done. We're not talking about that. That's not what we're talking about. But I just thought as a joke here, things I haven't done is one of the things. But for real, the real reason we're talking here is books. We can actually diagram books. That's part of everything, right? And why would we do that? Oh, well, because literacy. Yay, books. I remember books. Remember reading? That is good. We're going to do that. Okay, so remember I said that I was going to diagram the rational male. Cool, that's exactly what I'm going to do. But I'm not going to, that's not the first one we're going to do. And I also want to do fiction books, of course. My favorite one, Wheel of Time, is going to happen. Can we diagram all the unfinished projects? Yes, we can. And we can talk about why they failed and whatever. I mean, that can be part of the things I haven't done. Thing. But anyway, nerd, yes. Diagram the lore. We can talk about the geography. We can talk about the cultures. We can talk about the magic systems. We can even do character diagrams. All of the stuff that I want to do, right? Great stuff. I was ready to do that at some point. But then I actually went more into the nonfiction and thought that's where we'll start, okay? Because the fiction is very heavy. We can go a bit haywire there, and it's very niche considering it would just be Wheel of Time and nobody would be interested in that. Non-fiction books, on the other hand, back to this debate onward. Hi, Vint. We're actually having a little bit of a break as an introduction to the debate. Because I got pissed off, I said, let us just get to this part to take my mind off restarting. So, yeah, we're looking at and this is because it comes to a positive point of view, guys. Or in the framing of the show, correct? No, that would be a sub-diagram. So, non-fiction books. That's what we would be talking about. And, of course, that does go towards the rational male, the sort of philosophy stuff. It's a bit more about, and any philosophy book would have millions of concepts in a tiny little small space, which is great for diagramming. So we could do that. Political commentary, of course, those are the political commentary books, things like Fall of the West and all of those kinds of books would be great to do. And of course, history, all of those things would be great, right? Imagine a huge diagram channel. Those are all the kinds of things and all of the reasons that we would want nonfiction books. But the one that I'm starting with actually resulted from me playing with the Life RPG skill tree. Okay, a Life RPG is a mobile game that is about gamification. You gamify your goals, right? Your habits, right? So I wanted to do that. And then what I was thinking was, wow, I should share that with the community. I should talk about it on stream, or I should make a video about what I would make my skill tree and all of that. And I was like, well, that's kind of silly because it'll be very different for everybody. Okay, there's lots of things like Reddits and things that have life, like what would your real life skill tree look like and things like that. There's lots of those sort of things, but everybody's will be different. So that's not exactly the thing that I wanted to go into. I thought let's go further than that. And when I was developing, and yes, of course, I mind mapped my skill tree, and how the progression would go through Life RPG. I was thinking I need to get into good habits again. I had maybe 2 good habits and now they're gone. So I need to do that. And that brings us to the self-help book that we want to go over. That is Atomic Habits by James Clear. Okay. I have not read the book, okay, but I have it right here. It is ready. And when I looked at the index of everything, I was like, I'm going to diagram the index. Why? Because I can. And then I was like, wait a second, that's when I thought, no, let's not do the skill tree diagram thing. We can do that at some point, like as this like side project or like a side screenshot that I share in the Discord or some shit like that, right? Just to see what you guys think, because a lot of you are into game design and things like that, and we're also all talking about all of us, but like all of us are kind of positive in the Discord, and we're looking to make positive changes. So I want to look at Atomic Habits because that's what I'm doing. I'm really trying. It's something I really want to. I want to just do better. Self-improvement would be great. I'm not in the best position, so I want to just make my life better. And that's what I was going to do. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to now go through my journey through atomic habits. No, what it's actually going to do is we're going to just go through the book and literally mind map the concepts. Yes, I will put my feedback through it, like my commentary, like I do with the normal debate diagram, just on how it applies to me, because yeah, YouTube wise, everybody has to know everything about my opinion on everything. That's the whole point of me being on YouTube. So you will know all of that. That's what I wanted to do, but yeah, then we'll end up, mate. It's a book club, exactly, Nico. So this is the first one we're gonna do, and then we're going to do the rational male. I swear to God, we're gonna do it. But I do think I will do it in a recording context, because I've seen what it's like to have a I mean, we'll do a mix maybe, but I've seen what it's like to have, as much as I didn't like the way StreamYards was going on, or myself, the way I was working with StreamYards, the recording, it was a bit better, a bit easier flowing to do it through recording. So if I go ahead and at least you know what, at least pre-diagram, and then we go over the stream, maybe that's what we'll do. But either way, if this might, okay guys, I'm busy trying to figure it out in my head. Time wise, I don't know if it will work for me to spend time recording and then just premiering the stuff a bit more like Gray does it. Maybe that will be better for this kind of thing, because it will be more structured, more scripted. But I do like the collaboration. I mean, the point is you can't read the book on stream. That's the whole idea, is that we're going to go chapter at a time. I'm going to map the thing and talk about it as I go. And I will show you how this looks now. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. Okay, so this was on the first few pages of the book. It was like, you've got your normal things, but like literally the first page you have basically a definition of atomic and habit, right? So we have atomic, an extremely small amount of a thing. Okay, it's obviously not the exact definition of the thing, but this is the definition that the book wants you to grab onto, literally the first page, really. So an extremely small amount of a thing, atomic, right? Cool. Single irreducible unit of a larger system. Makes sense. The source of immense energy and power. So that's what an atom is. And of course, that's what you've got to take into yourself in this idea of, okay, it's small, tiny little changes that we make in our lives that will lead to bigger ones. Great. But if I just do it once, so if I just go and do the little habit once, the little habit action once, where it's not a habit, that's not going to make the huge change. So that's why we've got the word habit here. No, guys, we can do all bits of all different books. We're going, guys. We're going. Okay? This is the next level of reaction content. We're reacting to books, boys. Okay? So, but we're mapping them as well. And obviously, like I said, the sort of, you can map anything, but the nonfiction and the self-help really does, they lend themselves to mapping, because they are very summarized, they're very easy to read. So that's what I'm loving about this. Has anybody, I was supposed to ask in the video, and it was supposed to have come out and things. What have you guys read it? Has anyone read it? Yeah. Hi, Miss Sparkles. Hi, pretty lady. Have you read Atomic Habits? By James Clear. I don't know if my camera's mirrored, so I don't know if you guys can see that. Anyway, the point is, he puts the atomic with the habits, the routine or practice, right? So it's over and over again, performed regularly, over and over again. But it is also an automatic response, everybody, to a specific situation. That was I've broken that sentence up, because we want an automatic response, which is the easiest kind, really, to have it just automatic, that we just need to do it. That's what we want. I have a habit. What do we want? We want like a habit of being successful. That would be great. Imagine just making a habit of just being successful. That would be awesome. But actually, let's make a habit of being happy. Let's make a habit of framing things differently. That whole spiel, that's kind of what I'm looking at. And then to a specific situation, I think that having that separate is quite an important, not important, or it's a distinction for me, that we would be identifying situations in which we need the automatic response to occur. So that's just the first little bit that we can map from anything. Anything, you can map anything, guys. Atomic Habits by James Clear, literally page 1. Okay, so this is the title. So now let us go to the second part of just in a demonstration of what it would look like. So we are going to the contents, and of course a contents list is honestly, it's a map. So of course it's going to look beautiful when we map it. Table of contents is a table, so it's going to be very nice and neat. That's the whole idea, right? So the fundamentals. This is now the table of context, but what I'm going to do is go through it and just have a, like, this is as if you are with me at the bookstore and I'm looking at the table of contents and what I'm thinking when I read these things. That's it. Obviously, when it comes to a fiction book or whatever, this doesn't really matter too much, but you do want to do this with a self-help book if it's, and all help is self-help, really. Let's just think about it. Anyway, that's just made a channel for book suggestions. Thank you. That is our God tier mod giving us book suggestions because we are growing. I love it. So anyway, guys, let's see what our James Clear has told us. The fundamentals. So the way that also he's done this as well is quite nice, book-wise. He's got the title of the chapter, but then a subtitle, and then also the subsections. So even just the way that this is structured is good for remembering what he's going to tell you, I think. That is what I love about mind maps, and that's what I love about table of contents. That's literally how you should study. That's how I studied. But anyway, when I did remember things back in the day. Okay, anyway, the fundamentals. With tiny changes make a big difference. Why tiny changes make a big difference. That makes sense. I haven't read the book, by the way, guys. I'm not trying to tell you what's in the book. This is just my interpretation of, okay, cool, what am I seeing from this? Okay, why tiny changes make a big difference. That's the whole, it's something, another book that I would want to do is The Slight Edge. It's the same principle of increasing returns from small changes you make. I did start reading The Slight Edge. It was a concept that I was going to try and map, but this book just seemed so much easier to map. So I was like, and I was just more attracted to it, and it inspired me to even try and record a video in the morning. Like what? So I was like, let's just do it. So yeah, when tiny changes make a big difference, that's the whole idea. It's not a new idea, but what we need is to find the words, just hear them properly. Hear what we need to hear from a certain book. Don't worry guys, I'll change the title of the stream to include this. Okay, so the surprising power of atomic habits. I'm sure he's just going to give us an introduction of what these little habits are, how habits shape your identity. Now this was quite an interesting thing that I was thinking of, how your habits shape your identity and vice versa. Vice versa is also important there, because like, think about this. I was thinking about the habits that make me currently. And yeah, one of the only habits I really have, and I swear to you guys, hi Zerofox, is streaming. That is all I actually do very religiously, even though my gaming streams aren't that much. But I've made it that I have to come here on a Tuesday or Thursday, and that has to be, that's my only habit. What does that mean? Okay, cool. What does that mean about my identity? Also, why is this the only habit that hasn't faded? Where I used to have some other habits. I exercised a little bit more, all of that. Why did that fade? And it does come back to stuff you'll see down below on the list. It's accountability, and you guys have actually made me accountable. The subscription whole idea there, the fact that there are people that are like, hey, where's your last stream, that sort of thing, that has uh affected me. But I'll get back to it. How your habits shape your identity, vice versa. Just going back to that, the point of what you are, what you do, and how you act. So how do you change who you are? Or how do you be better? You do different things. So if I could create better habits and have better habits, thinking habits, better everything habits, then I could be a better person, and my identity, I can feel better about myself. So that's what I want to do. That's what I'm expecting to see. It's going to explain how that works, but that's what I'm thinking. How to build better habits in 4 simple steps. So now he breaks up into 4 to build better habits in 4 simple steps. So he's talking about 4 simple steps, and you can see that those then break up into 1, 2, 3, 4 laws, right? So I suppose that's what he's going to be explaining, just an introduction of those laws. First, the first law, make it obvious. Okay, that's interesting. What are you trying to make it obvious? Make it easy? Well, what does he mean by this, making it obvious for the first law? The man who didn't look right. So usually with these books, you get a story, and that has a moral. So that's what I would expect. It might be a story about him. So I mean, predictions, we could be like story about author. Because we did have a when I did read The Slight Edge, one of the main framing stories was the author's story. So would be interesting to hear that that's actually what it is. The best way to start a new habit. So I guess he's going to teach us how to do that. That's pretty straightforward. And then motivation is overrated. Environment often matters more. That's quite interesting. I didn't really think too much about that. I can understand how an environment will definitely encourages or discourages change, for sure. But you have to make changes upon your environment to make it conducive to change. So I'm like, I can see how that works, and I want to learn. That's where I'm thinking, oh, I'll learn something quite good there. What will I see in my own environment that holds me back, or that could help me? So what are we going to find? The secret to self-control, that's an interesting one. The whole thing is fucking interesting. That's what we're doing here. But yeah, the secret to self-control, one of the things is I have a lot of avoidance. I just avoid. I try to avoid a lot of things. And that is a lack of self-control. It's like I'm a little child saying, oh, I don't want to throw out the trash, and then I just avoid it. And I have absolutely no self-control to just say, it'll be easier for you to just go and do the fucking thing, throw out the trash, and that's it. So there is a lack of self-control. There's a lack of discipline that needs to be taken care of. Okay. So how to make a habit irresistible. So what part of this? So I don't know. When I look at this to see whether this make it obvious is obvious. Make it obvious. Maybe what I'm expecting is, okay, is this going to make? Are you saying make your habit the most obvious thing for you to do? Of course, that's what I'm gonna do. Maybe that's it. I mean, literally, that's what made me stop and make diagrams. I just had to. So that's kind of, I'm hoping that is what he means by obvious, but we'll see. Then second law, attractive. Make it attractive. How to make a habit irresistible, and that's exactly it. Why I would say this is my only really good habit is that it's a habit I see it coming. It has to it's Tuesday, that is the time. That making a habit thing, yeah, like that is it is an irresistible thing. It feels wrong if I'm not doing it. So if I could have that going for me in the rest of my life, can you imagine how productive I would be? It would be amazing. So then I'll be happy about it. The role of family and friends in shaping out your habits, that's an interesting one as well, because when it comes to, the reason I want good habits, it's also so I can instill better habits in other people. And also so that and one of the things when I had a bad habit of, I think I spoke to you guys about it, pulling my hair out and things like that and scratching at my scalp. That was a habit. And I enlisted everybody in my life to stop me from doing it. And that was the only way that I really did. Obviously, I was aware of it, but they had to stop me. They stopped me from doing this thing. So there is definitely a role for people around you, and that's, like I said, the role that the sort of the channel and the Discord community. And the reason I shared my screenshot with you guys and things like that, this accountability thing is very strong. So definitely that makes sense. Most of motivation is directly inaccessible. You either are or are not motivated. Controlling your environment is the easiest way to affect your motivation. Exactly. See, there you go. You know what I miss so much is highlighting your chats. That's the only thing from StreamYards. I can't. I want to click on your chat, Andrew. But I read it. Anyway, the role of the family environment. So that there you got family environment. Family is part of your environment, so makes sense. How to find and fix the causes of your bad habits. So that one will be quite an interesting thing because I have a lot of bad habits. Just because I say I don't have any habits, like good ones, I don't have. I used to have a great one where I could just literally just roll out of bed, boom, just wake up, I'm awake. No, now I'm groggy and shit in the morning. No, I can't handle that. I used to be the one. Gordon would be like, how do you do it? It was like a superpower I used to have. That if his alarm went off at 5, Chinzia's awake and she's up and she can do the things. Not anymore. Why? I need to go there. I want to hear. I've got a habit of not doing that. I've got a habit of snoozing the alarm. I've got all of these things. I want to see. I want to hear. I want to learn about it. Okay. And yeah, cool. I will talk to you guys about it. And this is not to say that once we get through this whole map, Shinsia is going to be perfect. It's just that we're going to learn from it, and hopefully we take that stuff forward and maybe relate to the next books we read with it. But cool, let's go make it easy. So one of the things as well with what do you call it? With the slight edge was that you're gonna do. It's so much easier to just not do a thing. It really is. It's like, I'll do it tomorrow. That's how procrastination happens. It's so much easier right now for me to just not do the thing. Yeah, sure, it's easier, but if you frame it differently, maybe you can make it like, is this really worth it? Is it worth all the pain that you're just delaying yourself? So anyway, here the way he talks about making it easy in the third law is walk slowly but never backward. That's just the principle, I would say, of just small steps. One of the things I did now the reason that I looked at Atomic Habits in the first place today was the life RPG, which I will put in the chat, guys, in the what's the name? I'll put it in the description and I'll put it in the Discord, all of that, just to show you what it is. If you want to use it or not. I don't know, I'm sure you've tried some things like Habitica and things like that, but this one's highly customizable. I really love it. And I've tried it a couple times. It's worked a couple times. I've gotten into quite good streaks, but then I fell out of it. I think, I don't know, I think I might have gotten sick or something just it just knocked me out of it. And that does happen, which is also something that we should hopefully find in this book. What happens when the wheels fall off? But yeah, walk slowly but never backward. That's great. Hopefully that is instilling the thing of just baby steps. And the idea I was talking about with the skill tree is I was going to go and make all the skills. I was like, okay, do this. Okay, there's the interpersonal skill, and there's this skill, and there's that skill, and I wanted to do all of that. And I was like, yeah, sure, Chinzia, that's great. But did you flip and take the trash out this morning? No, you didn't. So let's do that. Let's actually unlock the skills. Let's unlock the skill tree. And what that is the walk slowly. That's what I would think. I don't know, but this is how what I'm taking from it is you have to freaking take one step at a time. But yeah, you don't want to go backwards. And one of the best things to remember as well, which is what I've told Gordon as well, just when we are trying to get healthy and things, it's like we failed that day because we ate this. And it's like, cool, but we didn't eat that. Okay, and then tomorrow when we get to the next, we go, oh, we didn't eat the same thing we ate yesterday. That's great. Just do better than you did yesterday. It's the only thing that you can ask yourself. Yeah. Anyway, law of least effort. That sounds great. I'm all for least effort. Let's do that. This is the biggest. I think I need to like put this in huge letters. How to stop procrastinating by using the 2-minute rule. Holy shit face. Okay, procrastination station. This one here. Okay, it's gotten out of hand. So yes, I can actually end up procrastinating because the reason I procrastinate is because I get anxiety. Cool, but that's just going to make your anxiety go higher. So let's see what this 2-minute rule is. And I don't know if the 2-minute rule has anything to do with the 5-minute thing that I've seen. One of the things that I've seen is that do 5 minutes of the task. Just 5 minutes, and then you can walk away. It's okay. You can walk away. You just do 5, but then you walk away. And what that does is make it the scariness of starting the task a little bit more exposed. You just go, okay, 5 minutes. It's worked for me before. So I don't know if the 2-minute rule is that, but let's see. How to make good habits inevitable and bad habits impossible. That sounds perfect. That sounds like we're going to just make us perfect, right? Cool. Let's just see. Okay, obviously that is the main aim. That's the first prize. But look, when I read a self-help book and things like this, yes, I wanted to change my life, but I know it's not going to be the instant fix. So, but these are things that we need to keep in mind. We'll just keep them in mind. 2-minute rule is the same. Oh, cool, darling. Okay, fourth law, make it satisfying. Obviously, we're going to do things that satisfy us. I'm literally doing this right now because it's satisfying. It's satisfying to put the things in the little things and to talk to you guys. Obviously, that is why this habit has survived. It's been satisfying. It's satisfied some sort of need. Okay, so the cardinal rule for behavior change, I don't know what that is. What is the basis for behavior change? Changing, I suppose. So that would be interesting. How to stick with good habits every day. I don't know how, other than to do them. So it will be interesting to hear what he says. What is the how of it? That is why you need a diagram here, okay? We're not just going to talk about a little paragraph each. Okay. Then how an accountability partner can change everything. Now, that's what's great about what I've already spoken about, the Discord and just having your partner, people in on it, with helping you. Gordon has been amazing. Sometimes I'm finished this late and I'm like, I'm just going to bed. I'll brush my teeth, but I won't wash my face. I'm going to bed. He's just like, oh, okay, so you just don't want to take care of yourself. Is that it, eh? You just a little comment like that. I know it depends on the person. You'll have to figure out how. I suppose everybody has to figure out how. But an accountability partner, the fact that he knows, I'm okay to forgive myself for that night. But he said he's not taken notice that I didn't wash my face. So he's like, cool. He just says that I have to now reject him. Because I don't give a shit about myself, but no, I give so many shits about Gordon. So when he says something, it has more power to me. So I actually go and do the thing. So that's the kind of thing. This bouncing off accountability. It helps you. It helps me. For me, it's reframing something so that I can actually give a shit about myself. It takes a while. My most recent books. You have to promise to not make fun of me. Of course we won't make fun of you. We make fun of me. That's what we're here for. Thinkers are my accountability partners. Exactly, Andrew. Like the whole Discord and the thinkers are the most active ones. No worries. We don't kink shame here. No, we don't. Okay, so accountability partners, that'll be an interesting social thing to talk about. I know I'm saying interesting, but that's fuck off. That's what we're here for. Okay, advanced tactics. So those were the four laws, right? Making it satisfying, making it easy, making it attractive, making it obvious, right? The advanced tactics, I suppose, is if you've tried to add these things into your life, cool stuff. Advanced tactics, this is like, listen, gold tier. Let's go. How to go from being merely good to being truly great. Now, this is the top stuff. This is like, if this all really works out, which we're a bit scared of undertaking because that's pretty scary, but I still want to learn and I still want to just have these, even if I don't apply them properly, they are there, and I know that they are something that I'm looking for and I'm trying to be. So it is important to read these books. Even you're not going to find one self-help book that's going to just clean you up for the rest of your life. It's just things to think about. Okay, so the truth about talent. This is now being merely good to truth about talent when genes matter and when they don't. So what what is he going to be talking about here? This is, for me, I'm like, okay, honey, are you like, are we going to identify our um our limits? That'll be interesting to look at when genes matter and when they don't. So what can we practice? What can we not practice? Um, the Goldilocks rule: how to stay motivated in life and work. So, it's about staying motivated. It's honestly, you can have, like I said, you read all this and it's great, and you're like, cool. I was doing good. I read like this much of the Slight Edge, and it changed my outlook on life for a little while. It really did. But something bad happened, and then I didn't feel good, and then I was off it. So I need another hit of self-help. So that's what we're going to do. So it would be interesting to see what is staying motivated. The downside of creating good habits. Now, what I thought this might be would be, is it you know is it like getting addicted to certain things? Is that it? That, or is it that you're never spontaneous because everything is a habit, everything? Or is it you are then resistant to change because you've created all these changes around you, and then then you feel very uncomfortable whenever there's any sort of change? Maybe that's it. I don't know, but we'll see. Conclusion: the secret to results that last, which I suppose just covers everything. It is a conclusion. It will run over everything. The secret. And also, I mean, it's just presented as if it's like it's one thing that you got to remember, and then you'll remember it all. So yeah, that's the self-help way of writing things. And then also there is an appendix. It is part of the content table of content, so it was mapped. What should you read next? Well, we'll see if what we're reading next is in this, like what everybody has suggested is in this. That'll be cool. Little lessons from the four laws. That will be interesting. I don't know if that's like examples of stories people have. I don't know. How to apply these ideas to business. That will be very useful. If not as a business owner thing, as just anybody working. That's what I'm hoping. How do you just be happy? In you need to, how do you have a habit of being managing your time properly? I'm horrible with that. So that would be great if I could do that. How to apply these ideas to parenting. That'll just be interesting to look at, because I have been parented. That's the way I'll look at it. I'm not a parent. But it'll be obviously interesting to have you guys tell me what you think of it as parents. So that'll be cool. Acknowledgements, notes, index. I put those together at the bottom. I will acknowledge, and we will have some notes, and we will look at the index. I don't think we'll map the index because the index is a map, but I just thought I'd be thorough. So yeah, that's a bit longer than what I recorded. What I recorded was about 20 minutes. Discussing this stuff, but yeah, that's kind of what we're going to be doing. And again, not sure which format it will take, but I won't be reading the book with you on stream, so we are going to map it and discuss it as we go along. So it'll be a sort of series thing. So let's just check. I'm just going to check in with these with your chats. Well, I wanted to better myself still. So they are Dr. Phil books. Ooh, Dr. Phil books. That's cool. None of these tips have ever worked for me. Well, you haven't been living very long, Puffy. So of course it's not going to. And hello, the rest of us are out here in our 30s, also still not having these things work. And it's not them. It's not the fact that the tips didn't work. It's that we didn't work. That's the point. Inflexibility, no flexibility. That's what I thought as well. Yeah. If the habit takes up a lot of time, part of your life. Exactly. Jinx, look at you guys. I get a cherry coke, even though it's not my Jinx. Nice, very informative. Oi, take a stand. Oh, sorry, there's stream elements. Nice. So this is what we're doing next year. Yes, when we're done with the debate. So that is beyond debate diagram. I'll close that now. And we'll get back to the other one now that I've shaken off my mood. I have a bad habit of being in being moody. So here we are, we're back. Yeah, I think you guys can still see. That's fine. I am going to put some water in here. So long. What else? Might make a coffee, I don't know. No coffee. Bad habit. Polyamory in a power dynamic. Oh gosh. Water. Hassan, take over. Thank you, Hassan. That's the book after. Lunk time! Hi! Galenta, you having lunk? Ooh, Anyway. Cute. Let's get back into the debate diagram. If we can. So, look, they're talking about wait, let's see if I can hear. Can you hear? Yes, you can hear. No, you can't. Desktop audio. Video. No, actually, let's just do desktop audio. Ta-da! It should be this one. You should be able to hear now. No. Fuck you. Hold on.
Important than the idea that they just didn't take these cases, which should have answers. We should know what the Supreme Court's answer on these two issues are.
My internet is being feces. Sounds like mine. How's the audio, guys? It should be fine.
Like strong evidence.
Somewhat.
Do you know the story that Bill Barr told?
Okay, so here's the Bill Barr.
President Trump to put some attorneys on these various laws that were.
Okay, so this is now. I think I'm actually going to start a new one. No, it's not a new one. It's kind of like down here. It continues. This, they're talking about election deniers, and this is them agreeing. And this was actually like one of the nicest parts, really. Not like agreeing, they're just discussing. I'm watching it because and diagramming it because I cannot stand just looking for the little bit that we needed to get. Like, yeah, okay, well, this would work if I had clipped it all off and whatever, but I was too busy diagramming books. Okay, ADD is a thing. I've self-diagnosed. Shut up. Okay, let's go. No, you
I'm holding you in contempt.
The election results that we see, absent like strong evidence.
Okay.
To the presidential election don't have standing to bring suit in regards to how voting is done in the election that they have a direct interest in. And that felt like a very cheap dodge from the Supreme Court. And how they would have answered the questions to me is not, I mean, it's important, but it's less important than the idea that they just didn't take these cases, which should have answers. We should know what the Supreme Court's answer on these two issues are, even if it says we're not going to interfere with the election results that we see, absent like strong evidence.
Okay.
Do you know the story that Bill Barr told President Trump to put some attorneys on these various laws that were going into effect around the country, because basically Bill Barr saw this coming.
Right.
But Trump, I guess now it's well known that Trump has a bad habit of not paying his attorneys. So Bill Barr told him, look, you need to put $10 million into an escrow account and start hiring some attorneys and send them out to challenge some of these laws in the states.
Adam was mean to Dev yesterday. He was, you know what he actually was? I was actually going to comment about that. I feel like he was being playfully mean. He was just making a fight, hamming it up. That's what I felt. He was being mean though. Like in the beginning. That's as far as I got. And then I was like, Chintzia, you should probably watch the thing you're diagramming. So I didn't know you had supported self ID. No, I don't. Yeah, I wonder what today's going to be like. Oh well, did it end badly, Sparkles? I felt like kayfabe or planned in advance because it's so over the top. It was over the top. A-Team Cope. Listen, I have disowned A-Team. And if you can tell me why, you get a wrench if you don't have one. But if you have a wrench, then we just have joy. I don't know. We celebrate. He was partially being playful, but he literally believed that Dev was advocating for violence. Yeah, he didn't listen, and he took it. I thought it was a little funny. I saw you, Lucy. I saw you in the chat there. Like, Jesus, everybody's like, Jesus, Adam. So, since when? Since yesterday. Since yesterday, darling. No. Sitch also thinks chocolate is not candy. I mean, is candy. Chichi is Team CP. He thinks chocolate. No. And Sitch also thinks chocolate is candy. Scandal. Yes. Did advocate for violence. Look, he did. Somebody did point out that he kind of dodged it, and I didn't go back and dissect his talk, but yeah. Come on, guys. Come on. Can you guess why I am not A-Team anymore? He was lost? No, but that was just a cherry on the top. Actually, I think it was I got cut off before everybody. Did you see how many chats went through that weren't like the reason I stopped chatting was I got that message that the broadcast is over. So I was robbed. Come on, it's not easy being easy being A-Team. What are you saying that I should come? No, there is a big real. I don't think Adam wants me on A-Team because of this. Some of the best chats happens when stream is over. I'd only realized that this time. No, this is big for me. I do it all the time, guys. Puns. But we're A-Team because it's worth it. Dev is my favorite, so I just took it like he was being genuinely mean. Oh no, yeah, exactly. You had the kind of defensive, like, hey, defensive. Ooh, spicy, yeah. Puns. I live for puns. I play fucking video games for puns, and this oak over here is saying puns aren't a thing, aren't good. They're boring, lame. Out. I'm out. What is the A-Team? It's people that support Adam versus Sitch. Like you either S-Class or A-Team. And I was agnostic. Then I said I'm A-Team. And then it's been what, like a month? And then now I knew before that he didn't like puns, and it was fine. But he's just like, he said it in response to some really great puns, and I'm heartbroken. And you know what? Because I like puns, I don't think I belong on A-Team. You know? That is a bit lame. It is lame. It is very lame. He doesn't like puns like Meowster Hunter. I mean, come on. I'm on the Sitch team. Exactly. You are S-Class. I bet if I pun hard enough, Adam can laugh. Please do, Zero Fucks. If you get him to laugh. Oh, that would be great. I love puns. Is that the reason I didn't watch the whole stream yet? Oh, well, yeah. It's in chat. You wouldn't have noticed. Yeah, it is the reason. Yes. He doesn't like puns. Can get him on pun team. It's you. If anyone can get him on pun team, well, I don't know. Eh? He's been around for like 100 years and he still doesn't like puns. I guess I'm S class. Yeah. Etc. And I suppose that makes sense because people, when they call cats, they go as well. Oh, that's another thing. I suppose other people say ps, but there's as well for cats. But I don't do that for my cats. My cats do not answer to ps or They answer to this. This is how you call my cats. I mean, they're not going to come now, but that's basically it. We only do this to them. Anyway, so are we going to super chat puns today then? Vampires have a bad sense of humor. Exactly. We'll super chat puns. I think I've got my membership chat coming up. I don't know. I'll probably be half asleep by the time I do it, so it won't be a very good one. But the point is, the man doesn't like puns. Look, I don't think Sitch loves puns, so it's not like I should be S class just because Sitch isn't Adam. But I don't know. Axel, what do you think? Axel actually came. He came here. Sitch claimed me as S class, but I do not confirm or deny such membership. That's a good place to be. Okay, so anyway, let's continue with this abomination of a man who doesn't like puns. Speaking to this other abomination who probably doesn't like puns either. And then a man of shadow who tolerates and appreciates puns sometimes.
Or we're going to have trouble because they're doing all this crazy shit with mail-in balloting and all this stuff, which I guess is pretty standard shenanigans for various elections. But Trump didn't do that.
Didn't do it.
Yeah, so
I can give you the cause for anaphylactic shock in a nutshell. My only stated stance is I bend the knee for no one. Sure, Zerofax. I looked up funniest puns in this game. Kitty's Claw Clan. Oh, you just want to have the triple K, darling. Okay. Let's go.
I'm always like, well, the buck's got to stop somewhere, right? If Trump is not spending his election money wisely, then why? Like, who am I to blame?
So this is one of the criticisms I brought up during it after speaking to an attorney who the Republican machine reached out for in the wake of Election Day. I spoke to an attorney who is in a swing state that was contested. And it was last minute. They reached out and said, hey, can you take on this case? No other attorneys in the state are doing it because attorneys attorneys as a class are typically pretty liberal. Like they just are.
Okay, so he's just talking about, you put attorneys on this case. Okay, that's basically what he was on about. And now they're just going to talk about attorneys as a class. It's an allergic reaction. Yeah, it's anaphylaxis is an allergic reaction. And most people that get an allergic reaction would be to nuts. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Cool. Let's continue. Put attorneys. So now they're gonna start talking about attorneys. I'm gonna do this. Okay. Attorneys are what?
For a whole bunch of reasons. Usually it's because I won't even get into that. But no. So, but there are conservative attorneys around.
Stop it. Oh my gosh. Not stop, but like it's hilarious. Like stop reading, Chinsia. That was a good one, Galente. Did I tell you about the Broadway musical I saw about different languages? I thought it would be great, but it just ended up being a play on words. But okay. Adam's worst opinion so far is that AOC is hotter than Tulsi. Okay, let's see. I do love puns too. Item, are you A team or S class? Because I got news for you. Adam is anti-pun.
And one of the problems that this guy spoke to me about, he said there was no legal machine in place prior to maybe a week before the election at best. And this is something where, you know, the Democrats had that cunt Mark Elias, who he got sanctioned. A whole bunch of stuff happened. He since resigned from Perkins Coie. He's no longer with them, if I understand.
Oh, it's just
Mark
a
Elias
whole bunch of stuff.
He was like every case. In every state, he was like the case director, case manager for all of them. And the Democrat machine had a legal team in every state ready to argue on the matter of election fraud. Now, the funny story is that the Democrat machine was actually prepping for election fraud in the other way, on their casework. And then the election, the popular election, allegedly went their way. And so they...
Oh, okay. Prepping to defend against election fraud from Trump.
Interesting
yes,
stuff.
That was the expectation that the Democrats had. And a lot of people seem to forget that because the Democrat message of, oh, there couldn't have been sufficient interference came through.
Well, because they won, obviously.
Right. Yeah. That came through after the election. But their pre-vote day messaging was, Hillary Clinton went on national television, said to Joe Biden, do not concede victory in this election because election interference and voter fraud is a real possibility, and you don't know what kind of shenanigans will be pulled. And then that kind of got swept into the gutter of history. They're like, yeah, actually, no, it's impossible to mess with these things. No one could do. I don't know how anyone would.
Yeah, that's total bullshit.
So
there, look at them. Look at them. Yeah, that's total bullshit. So I'm just gonna actually note a bit of agreement. Hi, Benjamin. How you doing? Oh, I gotta sign in to do reactions. That's stupid. Oh, I've just closed the chat. Just hold up. Chat. Come up, chat. Come back. I request your presence. Okay. Hillary Clinton told Joe not to concede. Okay, I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to just note, hey, Adam was like, just total bullshit. Agreement. Agreement on the bullshit. Ah, Nick is really quiet and you're kind of loud. Wait, what? Nick is really quiet. Okay, I'll put him up a little bit. Agreement on the... I like being back in control of a little bit of things. I know that means a lot more room for mistakes, but at least the mistakes I kind of know about. Ow, I just hit my funny bone. Agreement on the bullshit. A bit of that's awesome, Sparkles. I already knew Sitch's content pretty well, mostly because I didn't know Adam. Okay, hold on. I once submitted several puns to a comedy magazine. None of them got published. No pun intended. I'm 18. Mostly because I didn't know Adam at the time of my decision, but he seemed cool and I wanted an excuse to get to know him better. And I already knew Sitch's content pretty well. That's awesome, Sparkles. Anyway, thank you. Good morning to you too. Good morning, Ben. Yeah. No, Item, you're gonna have to just come over to S class. Because the man doesn't enjoy puns. If you love Adam more than puns, fine. Go ahead. But I cannot abide. The video could be louder. Okay, cool. To quote Frank Sinatra, I did it my way. No, not having co-hosts is better for focus. Well, yeah, you guys are my co-hosts. But then again, yes, I did notice I was a little bit more focused when I did my little recording today. I can fix Adam, says Item. Okay. He's been around, like I said, he's been around for hundreds of years and he still hasn't started liking puns. What is wrong with him? Okay, good.
Was they sent
Is this
out,
better?
and if you do vote by mail,
Maybe
you've
it's
got to
still low.
register with your Secretary of State and tell them, you're voting by
There?
mail specifically, sign
should
the
be
card,
same.
send it in. But in a lot of these states, they just sent
Kitty team is best class. Yay, Optimus. I'll punish him until he loves it. Oh, please do.
out mail-in ballots to people who are on the voter rolls without even them requesting it, which means obviously anyone in the household could fill out the ballot and send it back in.
Right. And Veritas did an interesting video in Minneapolis, in my neighboring area, in relation to Ilhan Omar. There are allegations that they had paid agents in the Somali community, which is very heavy in Minneapolis and in Ilhan Omar's district. And there was video because the guy put it up on like Instagram or something of him going around collecting ballots from Somali families. Yeah, he was doing this. Knowing like definitely was happening, unless he was lying about it for some reason that no one can figure out. And it was talked about by a couple people that Veritas interviewed, and everybody just wanted to ignore that happens. And again, the question is always like, is this enough? I mean, you're not turning Minnesota red. Like, we are the most communist state.
So they're just busy having a good back and forth, really. There's no debate here at the moment. They're looking. Kitty team is cat team. K team sounds too close to A team. Oh no. I take this as a challenge to fix Adam the Laser Cyborg or receive a humor program update. Good. Go. I mean, I'm okay. Kitty's team can be called Kit Kats. Yeah. Hi, you cats and kittens. Hello, Kit Kats. Okay. Agreement on the bullshit. I'm very tempted to skip this because there's no debate about it. But the thing is, you do need to note that they are in agreement about stuff. They're talking about, like I'm gonna put just lists of they're just doing examples. So I'm gonna maybe put here examples. Cases. Oh yeah, that was Kthxbai is best by God. That was one. I love musicals and Weird Al, but Adam highly dislikes those things. Oh, but you're still A team. Oh, well, look at him. Puns I cannot abide. Are you trying to change my mind? Is that it? Andrew's trying to bring me back to the fold and remember all the things that I'm A team for. No, Sitch just has to say something that I dislike, and then I'll just hop. I'm kidding. Puns. He has to love puns. Must love dogs. Must love puns. Like you don't have to like cats. Okay. But he does like. Oh, damn it! He's got two really pretty cute cats. I'm stuck. Anyway, also still A team. Oh, look at you. I like Zerofuck's suggestions better than mine earlier. What's Zerofuck's one? Kit Kat Club. Yo, you just carry on with the triple Ks, guys. We are not A team because it is easy, but because it is hard. Okay. I don't know. I'm stuck. I'm confused. I guess I don't know anymore. I'm homeless. Oh, I'm agnostic again. But I'm really upset with him about puns, man. Anyway, continue with the examples of cases, of instances. Fraud was suspected. Okay, there's the Ilhan Omar stuff. Mail in It feel like pina coladas. What are we doing? Why are we doing that? Pina coladas. In ballots. Ilhan Omar. Let's just go continue. I'm just gonna note, or let me just do a commentary. Just general conversation. Compared to heated exchanges of later on, exchanges to come. Yeah.
Has been, we're the only state that didn't vote for Reagan. Like
that's hilarious.
Minnesota is diehard commie. Like that's just how it goes. Which is weird because outstate Minnesota is pretty Republican, but it doesn't matter. So you're not going to turn Minnesota, but like this is an issue that we could fathomably see. Yeah, I mean, maybe there was illegal collection of votes. We'll never know. And the nature of our system makes it really hard to track down multiple votes because we don't put our names on the ballot, right?
Minnesota like just seems Midwest as can be. That's why I'm laughing that it's.
Dude, we are mini communist. California. Oh yeah. No, we're becoming a trans sanctuary.
How is this
state.
Possible? It doesn't make sense.
Well,
to me.
It's a state of 5 million people, and I think 3.8 million of them live in the Twin Cities metro area.
You're surrounded by North Dakota, South Dakota, and Iowa.
Yeah, they all got out for lower taxes. We can farm corn and pea board with less taxes.
Look, it makes sense being on the coast. It's just like it's kind of weird. Minnesota, okay, learning something new.
Yeah, no, it's weird, but it's mostly the cities out.
Learning something new. Okay, that is something you have. Good. Look. We are letting him just tell us things, and we are learning things. It's great. We're not. But I believe you're doing a good job, Kitty. What? The stream has become the item catalog. Item things he needs to fix in Adam's stream. I have no idea what's going on in the video whatsoever. Neither do I. We're okay. It happened in real life, and they just got a divorce. I like pina coladas. I don't like getting caught in the rain. My husband and I both like pina coladas.
State Minnesota, very hunting friendly.
Neither of us like getting caught in the rain. Maybe it's the rain part that really, really fucked them up.
Friendly, heavy Christian, conservative, like evangelical Christians, Baptists, stuff like that. And you're gonna have a lot of red surrounding islands of blue. But those islands of blue have a population density that's 15 times higher.
So are you gonna do election coverage? What's your take on the election?
The 2024 election?
Yeah, are you?
Okay, yay, new topic. Thank you, Adam. Woo! New topic. Sorry, this mic does cut out. Although the StreamYard's one did start cutting out too. Daisy, what you looking at? What's outside, baby? What's there? Oh, it's just cigarettes. It's Axel. I mean, it's Gordon's cigarettes. Axel doesn't smoke. I won't allow him. Diagrams are gay. Mysterious. I mean, there's nothing wrong with being gay. So I guess, yeah, they're gay. They're totally gay. Okay. New topic. What's your election take? Adam to the rescue!
You watch any of the madness?
So far, not really. It's not super interesting to me yet. The most interesting stuff is what is the legal strategy? Like, is there a legal strategy involved in the Trump prosecutions? I do think there is, and I think they're very, very dangerous. I think they should be postponed until after the election, personally.
Okay, so, is there a legal strategy involved in the Trump prosecutions? So, very dangerous. I think they should be postponed until after the election. Okay, postpone. Nick wants to postpone. Can you guys hear any of the keyboard? Trump legal action. Because dangerous. I'm gonna say, he used the word very dangerous. Very dangerous. Do you guys watch Zifrank? He's got a whole bunch of shorts out now of Creepy Dave, and yeah, he says Dangerous. I'll be back. I'm going to make something to eat. Enjoy. Hi, Rico. How you doing? Not that there's anything wrong with that. Like it. No, they tried to cheat. They tried to cheat on each other, but were attracted to each other again in new ways. So they fell in love again. In real life, they just saw that they tried to cheat on each other. Okay. What a sad song then. Anyway, yes. The main takeaway here is nothing wrong with being gay, especially if you're a diagram.
If he wins, does that mean they're not going to do it till after his term's over?
If he wins.
If he wins. Okay, so actually I'll just put very dangerous in here because it's in the same block. Very dangerous. Not to. Oh, my diddle do. Daisy diddle do. I'm wondering if my watch is also part of the do thing. Because it might be. I don't know. Could. I'm doing well. Great stuff, guys. I'm glad you come around. We're getting into like a few minutes of this, and then we're gonna leave it alone. You missed the whole book club thing. Have you read Atomic Habits? Are we gonna call it That Darn Book Club? The silence has gone on too long. Okay, S class is best class.
He should pardon himself of all of the
So it
federal.
doesn't even matter.
Yeah, I would.
Okay.
That'd be like,
Of course.
This is a political witch hunt. I'm exercising my power of the pardon, and no one can fuck with it. That's what I would do.
So it doesn't even matter. If he wins, does that mean they're not going to do it till after?
If he wins. I just realized that Kitty has an accent. Welcome, Mysterious. Where have you been? You have 2 hours left and done 0 diagramming. Zero diagramming, Andrew. This is not 0. Look, that's not 0. I will yell at you. How is the noise gate? Does she? You guys got over my. Now you don't have. Now I don't have an accent to you because you're too used to me. Okay.
His term's over.
If he wins, he should pardon himself of all of the
So it
federal.
doesn't even matter.
It's working. It is working. Does it mean they won't do it until after his term?
Yeah, I would.
If he wins, does that mean they're not going to do it till after his term's over?
If he wins, he should pardon himself of all of the
So it
federal.
doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
It would be pretty funny. Do you think he would? If he wins, he'd pardon himself. So it doesn't matter. Okay, so I will do a commentary here. Say, look, more agreement. Look more nice. Look more plain nice. Pendragon has an accent, but Kitty sounds normal. Exactly. I am what everybody sounds like without an accent.
I would. I'd be like,
Of course.
This is a political witch hunt. I'm exercising my power of the pardon, and no one can fuck with it. That's what I would do. That's what I would assume he'll do. He'll be criticized, but it doesn't matter because he won't have a re-election anyway.
Right.
And they're going to impeach him every year if he does win, so that'll be fun.
Do you think he stands a chance if it's him versus Biden? Do you think he stands a chance of winning?
What? Him versus Biden, do you think it's chance of winning? Biden should not be running. I'm sorry, I know it's the normie take, but I think it's just the normie take because it's the most duh thing in the world. Okay? Nobody should be wanting this. Okay, there you go. What's it taking there? Let me go here and just be like, if it's he should be laying down. Yeah, he should. Book club, I'm down. Yeah, Rico, you've jumped onto the Discord, right? Also, hold on. I just want to check if something's working. Maybe. No, I haven't turned them on properly. Anyway, now that we're on OBS, the alerts will start working. Anyway, yes. Well, will he win? Yay.
I don't know.
It just seems weird to me because it's when we had an election, that's the exact same election we had 4 years ago, right?
Yeah, and I mean I guess the questions are: do you like what Biden's been doing for the country? Some people are certainly going to say yes, and other people have seen their grocery bills fucking double, triple.
Yeah.
And look, I can take the logical, skeptical approach and say maybe that's a result of Trump spending money as well. Like inflation doesn't exist in a vacuum. We have a long history in this country of just printing money now. It was going to catch up, but that's not the way that economic realities tend to work in presidential elections. It's how do I feel right now about what's happening, and I blame the guy in office. That was Bill Clinton's, his campaign motto behind the scenes. I think was "It's the economy, stupid."
Yep.
Like that was his whole thing. That's how he won, focusing on the unhappiness of people and saying, "Hey, it's not working out for you. Give me a chance."
Yeah,
Give me a
inflation's
chance.
a big deal. That could be.
We did a very good one.
I got
I mean, yeah,
an anaconda, baby.
He does it very well. Wow, look at him go. Right, that debate wave. That was very good. The way he's like, the way he does Clinton. What's up there? Is it windy out there? Is that why you look out the window? Oh, my poor baby. She's so cute. I can't handle it. Okay. Like, she makes me sad because she's cute. I don't understand it. Right. Sorry, I think I broke my brain. It's okay. It's okay. There's repairs. Just drink water. It helps. It just makes me go and pee. I just want to say this, even if it's a controversial opinion. Kitty is the best. I've said, but I've needed to be said. Oh, well, thank you, Mysterious. This is a note from Ali, and she said the exact same thing. So I think you guys are really great for thinking that. It's a nice little it's a nice thought. Thanks, guys. Daisy, isn't she? Welcome back, Miss Sparkles. What do we have to eat? Is it lunk? Or is it dinner? Or is it breakfast? Okay. Daisy, boop. Exactly, boops. Daisy, stop.
I don't think that many people actually vote on economic policy, because I think generally people have like a like
I
I think people like they generally vote on social issues and kind of a vibe check of the nation. And like if the economy's doing really bad, why?
Okay. Well, let him
I don't
finish.
even know, because we used to have a time period where if the economy was really bad, people would switch parties, but it feels or at least switch their votes. But everything's so hyper polarized now. I'm not sure I would believe people would even do that nowadays, especially with Trump, who's like the most polarizing of all figures.
Yeah, the interesting.
Okay, that's a good. Yeah, there is something they could cup a noodle. Ooh, I like that. So long, guys. Wet tuna. Is that no? Stir fry, sweet chili flavor. I was very tempted to just get a cup of noodles for lunch, but I had some for lunch and dinner, but I had leftover rice, so that's good. Hey, stop being distracted by both these cats and these cats. You're both so cute and adorable. Okay, if people what? If people vote don't vote against Biden. Not liking. The current situation. That's it. Okay. Cool. But now we have some other. This is all of them agreeing, which is great. But then Sitch over here, it's like I don't think that many people actually vote on economic policy. Can you guys hear the sorry, I forgot. I might have missed the chat. Can you hear me typing? Vote on economic policy. Think generally people have like, I don't know, people think they generally vote on social issues. Yeah, people vote on social issues, but then the social issues creep into their economics, and it becomes hard to ignore. Or if economics creeps into the social issues, then it becomes hard to ignore. Yeah, okay. Generally vote on social issues. Yes, fight. Yay! That's great. Guys doing really bad. Social issues, kind of vibe check of the nation. Vibe check. What are you, Gen Z? Sitch? Vibe check of the nation. And like, if the economy is doing really badly, well, actually, I don't even know, because we used to have a time period where if the economy was really bad, people would switch parties, but it feels like, oh yes, so people, so that's what I was saying, that, okay, I said, I thought that the economic issues, they generally get into the social issues and then you switch, but you wouldn't really, because things are so polarized. You just change who you blame. So yeah, generally people don't nowadays switch because nobody switches because it's highly polarized. Okay. Unless you're in a major economic crisis, people don't really base their votes on economic laws. Yeah.
Thing with the current legal stuff with Trump is, amongst Republicans, it seems to have bolstered his support. He's way up from where he was in approval, and as the potential nominee. The question is, how will that fare with the the critical independent vote?
Right.
And will the Republicans who are mad that they're charging Trump, does that mean they're going to show up and vote for him? And so you have a lot of questions about the motivated voter. But I wasn't saying economic policy is a thing. But I do think economic pain can drive people, if not to switch votes, but to not vote for the same.
Mood, yeah,
they'll just let it go. Like, well, Biden forgets things, so I'm going to forget to vote for him.
Okay, that is a good thing. He's just saying maybe so bad economy may lead to people not voting at all. Okay, what did Lucy? Yes, quite sad.
Yeah, it's weird, because I think, it's hard for me to imagine Trump losing the primary to any of the other candidates so far.
Yeah, at this point, it doesn't seem like it.
But I think he could definitely,
even Chris Christie,
especially Chris Christie.
Oh my God.
But I think it's interesting, because I think Trump has a worse. I think Trump can definitely win, but I think he has a worse chance against Biden than than most of the other Republicans. Just because I think Trump has so much baggage, and a lot of people are so worried about Biden with his age, and obviously talking about the inflation and all this other stuff. And I just feel like all these things melt away because how much people just dislike Trump.
Okay, so Sitch is this is maybe people in chat were starting to say Sitch Trump derangement syndrome. I don't know if that was too high pitched for the noise gate thingy-majiggy. Sitch is TDS brain. That's probably what people were accusing him of doing. Sitch, Trump would be Trump the worst candidate, even against Biden, because of his baggage. Yeah, he's a polarizing figure. He's got all the impeachment shit and whatever. He's got so much baggage compared to other other candidates. People won't like him as much. He lost a lot of people.
It could be, but the thing with Trump is he
not from the death of COVID, but actually, like, literally the way that he handled it. People like Blair White have this, that they're not fans of Trump.
He can get up on the stage and he can make the case, and for many people this will be compelling.
Mm-hmm.
You remember the economy I built before COVID destroyed it, and you see what happened now.
Right.
Do you like what the changes have been? You're paying more at the pump. You're paying more at the grocery store. You got more people flooding across the borders that I was trying to fix. He gets this unique opportunity that only, I think only one president has had in the past, to say, you had me, you lost me, do you want me back? And it is that direct A-B comparison. People get to make that choice. Now, I don't know if that...
Yeah, you had me, you lost me, you want me back. unique. You had me, lost me, you want me back. Okay, cool. Let's
That's
get
going to carry
into
it
some
through.
argument.
But I know that the people who have supported Trump have been almost universally cemented in their support of Trump over how things have gone. I don't think you're seeing a lot of people fall off the Trump train. I mean, a couple prominent commentators maybe, but I think that actually fades if Trump wins the primary. I think they'll be on his side, the commentators, because they have to be. Let's be honest, the political discussion is a grift. And I mean, all the never Trumpers who were prominent never Trumpers ended up kind of like supporting Trump. Look at you, Shapiro, or whatever. But
no, I mean, I agree with what you're saying. I mean, if
okay, yay, there's agreement. Look at the agreements. I mean, we are only half an hour in, so of course they're agreeing. What did you expect them to be doing? At each other's throats? Boys, agree? No, then he's not agreeing with that. He actually goes to another point. He just says, new voters, well, Trump supporters, won't abandon him, won't really. Well, the point is he needs those supporters to win the primary, wouldn't he? I mean, I don't know. I don't know how that works. Okay, go. Then Sitch says, yeah. For the primary, commentators have abandoned him, but they'll come back. They'll return, or they grieved. I don't have my preview running. I want to see how much you can see. Yeah, should be fine. There you go. I'm not a Trump guy, but I guess I am when the only choice is Trump or Biden. I do look forward to all the insane stuff Trump will say in the coming year. I mean, as an outsider, I do too. Yeah. Commentators they'll return for the grift. Agree. Cool, we have an agreement.
If the people who are kind of going to change their vote, or the undecideds actually watch politics and were swayed by what people said, what the politicians said, then I mean, Trump is obviously far more charismatic than Biden. He can definitely frame things far more better than Biden can. I think a lot of people that are that critical sliver of since everything's so close nowadays, that critical sliver. My gut intuition, based purely on nothing, is a lot of people just are not really super tapped in. That's how they can be in that kind of undecided sliver. They're not really tapped into politics. They kind of just like, well, they walk in the booth, they're like, do I want Trump or Biden this time? What do I think about? Oh, I've heard Trump is a racist. I've heard Trump, was being arrested for crimes. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
So
I think that's certainly the risk with him. And I think getting back to kind of how we got on this.
Okay, so he does agree. He agrees that's what they would do. But then he's also just saying some other stuff about, but things are close. But the undecided may be easily swayed against Trump. Okay, cool. Now what happens? I think he's going to bring another thing in.
This topic. I think that is the political strategy with the prosecutions that are being brought. Because I'm very suspicious on classified documents even being a cognizable legal problem for a president, mainly because Article 2, Section 1 of the Constitution opens with the federal executive power shall be vested in the president and the executive branch, which means that all of the executive power is vested in the president. So if he wants to declassify something, is there any way by which Congress has the authority constitutionally to bind his method of declassification? Just because we have one and presidents have followed it doesn't mean that that's actually a power that Congress has. And I think that's a critical question that the Supreme Court will have to answer in this case. Because if a president is the executive, and that's what it says, then in theory, he can declassify whatever the hell he wants in whatever manner without following a legal process.
That seems like quite a loophole. Is that really the argument that people are having? Americans, tell me this. Okay, is that really it? Oh well, he didn't follow the process, and that's the only reason. That's following the letter of the law, but too close. It's like, isn't okay? I suppose legally, if we're gonna go to the law, yeah. If legally there is no reason to go after him, then maybe change the laws because that seems a bit. There needs to be some sort of due process for declassification, I would say, because that's kind of risky, like the opposite of a loophole. What a wide open gaping chasm. I mean, not chasm, a gateway. What's the opposite of a loophole? I'm not gonna Google that. Okay, because that would distract me. Not a loophole. I didn't mean like a loophole. It's like a Congress has no authority over the presidential documents. Rule of law. Yeah. Okay. So, not American, but as I understand the reason for no due, some dumb spider. Hi, some dumb spider. No, not American, but as I understand the reason for no due process is to avoid Congress getting too much power, more or less. Okay, well, I guess, yeah, there's both sides, because then it's just like, oh, well, Congress can then have power over what messages get out there, but then it's just like, but then one guy has power to let the messages get out. One guy versus Congress. Chain. Maybe they exist to give the president a degree of autonomy, say during emergencies. Yeah, I don't know, but okay, the point is it exists, and if that's the problem, then go and do the law. But okay, so this is like you know, it's frivolous, not frivolous. Okay, it's not frivolous. Frivolous would, you know, because it is quite a hectic thing. But it's what I'm saying is like, they're saying if there's no basis here. Okay, the Constitution would have to be changed. Just change the Constitution, you know. Just have a vote. It'll be fine. It's quick. Okay. Cool. So that's it. Okay. I didn't know. I'm very ignorant. We know this, but that's what we're here for. We're writing the things down. Clickety clack. Okay. So he's saying that's he's worried about president's executive, the constitution, prosecutions, strategy with political strategy. Political strategy is being implemented against political strategy being implemented against Trump. There's no reason to charge him. Helps demonize him and declassify. Okay, cool. The only authority Congress has over the executive branch is that laid out in the Constitution. We would need a convention of states. 2/3 of the states would need to vote yes to amend the Constitution. Yeah, well, if that's that's big enough, then why go off? Yeah, so yeah, it is looking a bit oopsie poopsie. It's what needs to be, is it worth going after him then?
Because Congress cannot write a law to bind his plenary authority to do so.
Well, okay, here's a question. If let's say
here's the disagreement, because now I'm going to learn, because I would say Sitch probably does want Trump to be prosecuted.
Theoretically that there is a law, but the law is invalid.
Sure.
That's sort of the reason you're saying in terms of the.
Okay, this is the big part. There is theoretically that there is a law, but the law is invalid, because the reason you're saying in terms of documents.
The documents.
Process, because Congress cannot write a law to bind his plenary authority to do so.
Well, okay, here's a question. If let's say theoretically that there is a law, but the law is invalid.
Sure.
That's sort of the reason you're saying in terms of.
Okay, now Sitch has come with us as a hypothetical. Okay. Let's go to law. The law Sitch. There is a law. This has got to be tread really lightly, Chinsia, because this is where my brain just melds it all together. Okay.
Yeah, the documents. But no one really knows it because it hasn't been tested yet. And so then he takes the documents, and we have whatever happens where the government asks for documents back.
Nobody has tested it. What? No one knows it. I think Gordon's got locked out. Just hold up. Okay. Hasn't been tested yet. Okay. So the law hasn't been tested yet. It's a law. It's invalid. What? In terms of the documents. He says... I don't know what he means by in terms of the documents. Nobody knows it because it hasn't been tested yet. Okay, cool. Let's follow this.
And at first he says no, and then he says yes, and then he has the lawyer sign the paper that says we sent everything, but then it turns out that they didn't send everything.
Sure.
If it turns out that this all goes to through, and they say, oh well, the original law, they never had the authority to do this, does that get him off the hook for essentially lying about sending all the documents back?
Nobody, because it hasn't been tested yet. Then we have somebody who goes, send through, okay, so there are, okay, I'm trying to figure out the logic of how I'm going to write this. If laws are ambiguous, the courts have to determine what they mean. So nobody knows it because it hasn't been tested yet. Cool. Then they come along and they ask, then they ask. Okay, that's not Gordon. Okay. Gordon got himself a pizza, and it's 10:30. I'll just keep quiet. That's it. That's all I'm going to say. With my mouth. Okay. So then they ask for the documents. This is going to... okay. Then don't get them. Don't get. Go after him for it. If the original law, if original law they never had the authority, means they never had the authority. To get these papers, it doesn't matter. He didn't give them all. Okay, that's the thing. Okay, cool. Now, what's Nick gonna do all the lawyer speak, isn't he? It hurts.
I don't know. I would say yes. In the same way that I think Hunter Biden should not actually be guilty of lying on his form about being an illegal drug user for a gun purchase. because I think the constitutional aspect of that question, I think that question is unconstitutional. I do not see that someone can be compelled to admit to the government criminal activity. That's a violation of the Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination. And then the other aspect of it is I do not see any condition of the Second Amendment that says that a user, whatever that means, of an illegal drug does not have a Second Amendment right without due process being applied in a trial that would find them guilty of a crime worthy of sacrificing that right. I don't see where this thing says. Now, I do see a restriction of if someone is stoned out, like they're on heroin or whatever, and they're firing a gun, then that can be against the law. Like we can make laws against intoxicated people using guns, but we shouldn't be able, in my opinion, to make a law that says that someone's an alcoholic, they can't own a gun. We just don't want them to use the gun while on alcohol. But when they're not intoxicated, they still have their rights. So that.
Ooh, that's quite an interesting conundrum. Because if we do this, he compares this to, so he compares this to, that's a good parallel, because he's saying here he's looking at the constitutionality of the law, whether this law is valid or not, and he's saying that technically you can't. There are some things he would say that he would argue that isn't illegal, because it was already illegal for them to ask Hunter whether he was a drug addict or whatever. Yeah, very good. So I mean, it makes sense to me. Parallel, same as Hunter Biden. Can't would say can't prosecute him for being what? Someone can be compelled to admit the government criminal about being an illegal drug user. Well, for lying. Does he lie? Yeah. Lying about being already unconstitutional. That makes sense to me. I'm not a legal mind, of course, but it makes sense as a human, a reasonable person. So if it makes sense, that's already unconstitutional. Can't compel. Okay, government. Oh, I didn't put an R in. I was like, how did I spell criminality? Okay, cool. Yay, that is a great parallel point. Sitch, please don't make my brain go into more knots, though.
That's for me, like that charge on Hunter Biden, I think is an invalid charge. I think it should be an invalid charge on everyone. I think it's an improper question. I think that's reinforced under the recent Bruin decision. So in the same way, I guess I would say, I don't care that Trump, quote unquote, lied on the document about returning everything. If they didn't have a right to have it returned in the first place.
Like, I don't know if I would say this for universal, because I'm sure there could be scenarios that, I would disagree with. But I don't know if I'm comfortable with the idea that if a person disagrees with the law or thinks that the law is unconstitutional or invalid, that would mean that they should have the ability to disregard it or violate it.
Okay, so this is what he's now taking. He's taking the meaning of this. He's saying, cool, I'm uncomfortable. This is interesting. Uncomfortable with the... I don't know if that's what Nick is saying here, so it would be interesting to figure out what he does mean. Whether that constitutes when somebody is just because you is this just because you disagree with the law, or is it that actually there is a defense, that there is an actual defense to go to? It's defensible, therefore you can do it. Is that the same thing? It's like, okay, unconstitutional. If a person disagrees with kind of like a violation of the spirit.
Because to me, it's like, well, it's kind of like a violation of the spirit of how, if you have a problem with the law, you're supposed to go through the legal process to get the law changed, not just sort of say, well, fuck the law. I'm just not.
That's what I was saying, but then if you apply it to the whole other situation, if you apply it to the Trump situation, it would actually be that everybody else has to do the legal process for changing the law, because that you can defend it. You can defend against you can go say this is not a constitutional law. That's how you can fight against it, and I guess that's how laws do get changed, because I don't know, isn't it that how it works, that laws get changed? Well, the case law is the thing that you like, based upon certain cases, they go and change things. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm trying to say in layman's terms. Layman. Uncomfortable. Oh shit! I've forgotten. I've got to take it. Oh yeah, I've got my pill. It's fine. I can take it. Parmalat. Okay. Uncomfortable. A person disagrees with the law. They have the ability to disregard it. It's a violation.
Not gonna listen to it.
Let me counter that a little bit.
Okay.
Well, from a legal perspective, you have two challenges that you can bring. And we saw this illustrated with the gay wedding websites, right?
Cool. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do this very slowly, right? Let me counter that. There's the argument! Okay. From a legal standpoint. So he has very much said from a legal standpoint. You have two ways to challenge two challenges. So you have two challenges you can bring forward. Okay, first one.
Right.
You have a preemptory challenge that says this law exists, and I have a reasonable fear that this action that I want to do will trigger enforcement of this law and punishment of me, and I want to avoid that. But you have
preemptory. This law you have a reasonable expectation that will actually occur. Okay, that's what I'm thinking.
have to have a reasonable expectation that it actually will occur in the way you think.
Right.
Now, this is a Colorado.
Have to have, oh God, I hate law. I hate law. Have to have a reasonable expectation that it will happen. Okay.
Private business, similar to Masterpiece Cakes, they know that Colorado will go after you if you refuse to do a gay wedding as a place of public accommodations, because they've done it very publicly. It's been in the Supreme Court at least once, and it went through the California.
Okay, so he's using arguments, right? So arguments. He's using arguments would be in code. It would be the same thing. Okay, the states example. Colorado or something. Well, the state will go after me. Yeah, wedding sites.
Or the Colorado Appeals Court a couple times. So she's able to bring that preemptory challenge. But a lot of people are not. A lot of people do have to actually have a legal consequence to have standing to bring suit. You have to have your rights.
Okay. That's the second version. then you do have legal consequences. Standing to bring a suit.
Deprived in order to show that they will be. Again, unless you have an expectation that's demonstrable, you have to tend to have the right deprived. Otherwise, the state can just say, oh, we won't do that. And we saw New York State try to do that with the initial.
Otherwise, the state just says, we won't do that. Okay, that's close enough.
The initial law about bringing a weapon, even if you had a license, you could only transport it from your home to the gun range and then back to your home, right? That was what was written down. And a guy says, well, what if I stop for gas or go to a grocery store on my way home? And they're like, New York's like, well, we wouldn't enforce it in that way.
Right.
And then they, that's their method to try and scramble out of the lawsuit. Well, this person's rights wouldn't actually be impacted. I mean, never mind the fact that they absolutely had planned to do that, it would have come up immediately, because otherwise you just, while I'm on my way home, I'm just stopping at my baby mama's house for 8 hours, and then I'm just going to go home. But,
well, I mean, I think the problem I have is that Trump could have, like, I have a problem if when they said, you need to hand over these documents, and then Trump could have just said, oh no, these are my documents, I either declassified them or whatever legal argument he wants to make to the government, and then they just fight it, and then they would fight it, and then it would go to court and it'd be decided. Because to me, that's different than essentially lying and saying, oh, I gave you everything, and then it's like, well, I didn't actually give you everything, right?
There's a moral difference. Yeah, I can see where Sitch is going with that. Preemptory challenge, cool, all of the legal points of view, but now that does mean he's saying it now is different. So now he's taking it out of the legal realm. What do we do now? He's taking it out of the legal realm. He's saying, or is he taking it out of the legal realm? Because we could be saying, oh, well, yeah, sure, but isn't this a legal defense? The fact that he still lied. He should have said that he had just declassified them. They were still lying. Isn't that a problem? Okay, so it's just, there is difference. He could say, no, sorry, let me just, he could say. Morally, I'm with Sitch, but legally, I think I'm with... Oh, look at that! David is last! You're not last, David. Sitch is making a bit of a weak point because he's making some assumption over what happened, which is partly based on claims made in indictment without proof being shown yet. I guess that we could just say it's a weak... You can say it's a weak claim because of there's no evidence, but you can just put an if statement in front of that and say, if the indictment is to be believed, blah, 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 the strength of the point has to be in its logic at this right now, until the actual evidence comes out, because we can only just be like, blah, 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 confirmed, and then we can have the opinions that are based upon that. So yeah, the weakness is only, if I'm reading you correctly, the weakness is because he's made an assumption we don't know. But this is all speculation. The point is the logic of the thing does make sense to me. So Trump could have said he has declassified documents and fight in court that way, but he lied. That seems like... Okay.
Because it's a very different, there's a very different intention there. And for me, I just, I'm very high in order and following the process and everything.
I thought you were saying you were very high.
Well, that's...
There's a different intention. Okay. I'm very high in order and following the process and everything. I thought you were saying you were very high. Lol, lol, lol. I'm gonna actually do that. Very... I'm just gonna say, put a commentary, Nick. Well, Nick. Elolo. Look at them make nice. Okay. That's you.
So that is also true. But
I'm very low on the order of following the process. Fuck the government.
which is hilarious because
He's very low on following the process of the government, okay?
you're like supposed to be more the right than I am. And generally it's the opposite. So
it wasn't always. No, it's interesting. I think how right and left have switched on authoritarianism from time to time. But
well, are you like conservative or are you libertarian?
Libertarian.
Okay.
Okay. Are you conservative or libertarian? Wow, Nick is libertarian.
Because it's I don't know. Are you familiar with Jonathan Haidt at all?
I think I've heard the name, but no.
He has like he's a social psychologist and he has these moral foundations about how people kind of come to their political positions.
Right.
And it's very interesting because there's like 5 moral foundations. I'm not gonna go through all of them, but people that are on the left.
Okay. This I'm gonna put into its own one. Sitch brings it forward as well, so he's gonna go Jonathan Haidt. Is it Haidt with an H-A-H-I-A-I-D? I always think that way. I don't know. Jonathan H. S says Jonathan H. Social psychologist, Jonathan H. And then moral foundations. He's libertarian, but definitely plays a conservative on TV. Hide. Yeah, Chinsia. I was right. Okay, brings up moral foundations, and he does say
Generally, like hit specific moral foundations, and people on the right hit different moral foundations, and then
left and right have different moral foundations. Okay, moral foundations. What kind of libertarian? Yeah, is he an ANCAP libertarian?
the libertarians are like off in their own quadrant doing their own thing. So I think libertarians are like a separate entity that has just kind of been like pushed into the right in America, but I don't think they're technically like a conservative.
Okay. Just libertarians have been placed in the right, but they aren't conservative technically. Okay.
Yeah. Well, like I'm personally conservative in many aspects, and I'm pretty liberal on some things too, though. But generally, my philosophy is from a legal or political standpoint. I don't want my beliefs pushed upon anybody by law, and I don't want theirs pushed upon me. I want to go through life as this idea as, hey, if I'm not fucking around with your stuff, and you're not fucking around with mine, we're in good shape. Like that's good for me.
Okay, so this is his type of libertarian, Rico. Conservative in some, liberal in others. Well, in others. Okay, and he's just saying if you don't. Okay, well, don't. Now I'm gonna be specific. Don't push beliefs. Anyone? Don't mess with my stuff, I won't mess with yours. with yours. We're in good shape. Yeah, he's not that libertarian. He's a libertarian. Well, I don't know. Yeah, he's fine. He's not a libertine. Who was making that distinction the other day? A libertine versus a libertarian. That was I like that comparison.
So that's why I kind of fall into the libertarian, but at small L camp, I think the large L libertarian party has so many problems. I know they're trying to fix it, but they're gonna have to show me before any of that. But libertarianism as a concept of the minimum infringement of rights is definitely where I sit.
Minimum infringements of rights.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think part of the reason America succeeded as a country it did is because rooted in liberalism, but like, Enlightenment liberalism is the idea of trying to maximize personal individual freedom as much as possible. And I think that is kind of what led our country to be the greatest country on the planet. So.
Yeah, look at him. He's said that it's the greatest country on the planet. Why did everyone hate on him? Like he's a proper libtard. See, he's shown that he's not a libtard. He's not like, oh, I hate America. Okay. Okay, so there's agreement. There is agreement on this thing. I know that we were talking about whether they agree on the brand thing, but we're talking here about what's it called? Let me also just hold on. I just want to check on my husband because I just noticed the time. This bitch isn't home. Let's see. Okay. Anyway, sorry. Most intelligent, great time stream. Woohoo! Continue.
Yeah, I think so too. The question is, we keep having these fucking congressmen who think they need to do something while they're there, when we would all just prefer that they enter a 2 to 6 year coma and stop messing around so we can figure out how we're gonna do life. But no, they keep you keep adding laws. They have to do it. They have to grandstand because that's their re-election campaign.
They gotta keep busy, okay? I want to feel useful, right?
Yeah, and so I hate that. I love when they're like, oh, the government's gonna shut down. I'm like, watch the country just keep going. Like we don't really need most of you most of the time. But that being said, yeah, the Trump thing is complicated because getting back to your question, if, for example, Trump's
okay, now we're going back. Whoa. Minimum infringements of rights. It's just saying libertarian. Is what? Okay, cool. But then he goes back. He go back to the Trump thing. I thought we were gonna have some Jonathan Haidt discussion, but okay, he's going back to Trump. I think he's looking for disagreement. He's looking for disagreement, but I guess that's what makes it interesting. To Trump question. That's interesting.
said, well, I gave you back everything. And they're like, no, you lied. But his argument is like, no, I gave you what you were entitled to. And the other stuff is mine. Like I declared it declassified in my personal documents. It's not yours anymore. So I didn't actually lie. And then they can say, well, you can't declassify it or whatever. I don't know what their legal strategy is going to be.
Right.
But that's the reason that I think that if you have an unconstitutional request, I don't care how much you lie to the government about the result.
They have the recording though. So they have the recording of him.
Okay, so he's saying it doesn't matter. He's basically saying it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if you lie to the government. He's cleaning his own ears. If only he was doing something that relaxing.
Admitting that he knows that the documents are classified and that he couldn't declassify them. So that would make it difficult for him to go with this lie strategy.
Not really. Like, again, so here's the thing. If the government records...
What? Wait, what?
Go with this lie. They have the recording of him admitting that he knows that the documents are classified and that he couldn't declassify them. So that...
Okay, that doesn't work. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. Sorry. Nick, how does that work? Tell me how that works. Okay. Does it try? The recording seems to have been basically nothing. Oh, nothing burger according to reports. Okay, so if it's a nothing burger, then it doesn't say what Adam is now saying it is. Okay, is that it? Spider? Sometimes I like to lie. I don't know why. Sometimes I like to lie. Did he say that? Or is that a song? Doesn't matter if Trump lied to government. Hey, there's a recording. Couldn't declassify them. Doesn't fit.
That would make it difficult for him to go with this lie strategy.
Not really. Like, again, so here's
Not really.
If the government records you admitting to illegally using marijuana, right?
Okay, so here's the example. Here's another if. This is the hypotheticals that everybody said were not engaged in properly. So let's see if they are. Parallel example. If government records you admitting used marijuana, you're gonna stay.
In a state, but that state had legalized marijuana, but you didn't know. And they're like, "Well, you're using marijuana, right?" And you're like, "Yeah, I was, still am." They're like, "And you know that you can't do that, right?" And you're like, "Yeah, I know I can't." That doesn't make you.
Ah, okay. So he's saying if government records you admitting you use marijuana, and within a state that has it legalized, admitting you illegally, that has it legalized, you still what? Just because you didn't know, you could do so. Admitted to the wrong thing. So again, I don't know. Okay, cool. So he's saying like you're admitting it's ignorance. I don't know. That's saying ignorance. The thing to remember with it works and Nick explains it sometimes. Things to remember with American indictment is that purpose is to try your hardest to make sure that it all goes to court. So indictments can have irrelevant evidence just because it sounds damning. Yeah. Which I find confusing, but it is what it is. No, well, you need to just have everything in case it becomes relevant. I guess you're being safe. Legally use marijuana within a state that has it legalized. You aren't guilty. Basically, if you didn't know. Because you don't know, it's right. It's okay. It's still okay. It's not legal. Okay? That's what he's saying. Okay?
You guilty of using marijuana just because you did it and didn't know that you could do it, so you admitted to the wrong thing. So again, I don't know the full like exact nature of Trump's his statements and all that stuff, and of course what he knows versus what we're being told he knows. All of that is going to have to be borne out at trial at some point, right?
Well,
but
can I just interject for a second?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, well, you're saying, so I don't. This is just principles that he's giving. He does say that don't know. You can see Nick is reading his chat. His defense will be, so he's going to pick up that the chat is still is hostile. Trump knows what his defense will be borne out. Okay, cool. Which goes back to what you were saying, Spider. Of like, look, the basically it was with you just saying Sitch is making a weak point there, basically. Oh, at least I can copy paste your guys' chats easily without StreamYards. Okay.
So, well, I think the problem or the difficulty his team would have with that argument is that, I mean, I would imagine the argument is still that he would have to have the intention to declassify, not simply, by like, if he had a secret document in his back pocket and realized it and walked out of the White House, like it wouldn't magically declassify. I still assume he'd have to have the intention to declassify something. So,
okay, so he's now bringing in intention. I'm still listening. I just think it might be sick or allergies. Oh no, I hope it's allergies and not sick, because allergies, well, I guess I just wish you just weren't feeling bad. It's super hot where I am. I live in Dubai. Where are you in? Where you at? What's the temperature? Is it humid heat? Yeah. Daisy, you have been staring outside for the past hour. It's quite interesting. Okay, no, if you're admitting something wrong because you don't know, it's okay, you're not guilty. So, Sitch, I'll put this over here. Sitch's response to this whole line of thought is intention. What about his intention? Need to determine my throat is killing me and my eyes hurt and I keep coughing. When I had COVID, my throat was the worst. That was the most painful ever. Needs to determine his intention. If, can't have it so that he mistakenly magically declassifies. $85. Damn. I think I'm sick and I don't want to admit it. Yeah, like, I mean, throat pain is usually is with sickness. Throat itchiness can be allergies. I had tinnitus for months after COVID. Oh my god, that's horrible, Nico. It's gone, hopefully. Obviously, I would say, because you said had. I'm hoping so. Tinnitus. Oh my gosh. I can't. I don't know if I'd be able to handle that. It's 27. Inside, 27 degrees inside and 20 degrees outside here, and I'm still feeling hot. Wait, this is degrees Celsius? My palate has never been the same since COVID. Oh my gosh, dude! I can't smell rotten fish. I can't smell rotten smells. I really can't. I have to actually, and this is many months after. I think it's at least a year since I've had COVID, and I still can't smell certain bad smells. I have to ask Gordon to like do the sniff test on milk and things like that, because I just can't smell bad smells. I was mild cold. It was mild cold for me. It was the worst throat pain I've ever had. Tinnitus has never gotten for me. Oh my god, that's horrid, darling. I get ringing in the ears if I drink too much caffeine. Yes, Celsius. Yeah. Okay. 20. Listen, we're at 40 degrees Celsius. Romaine lettuce tastes like dirt now, and I always get phantom smoke smells. Phantom smoke smells. Hi.
We have a fridge.
No. I was busy. There's people. I have people. Can't you see them?
So warm after a long day of work.
Oh, Gordon, there's cold drinks in the fridge, and your pizza's still hot, and your cat came to say hello to you. Come in here and talk shit. You are in the dog box.
Why? Because after a 15-hour day, I want pizza.
I'm afraid that might be there for years, Kitty. Try strong pepper sometimes to see if it's still there. Like pepper, I can taste spiciness and things. I can taste, but yeah, bad smells, not a thing. I famously tried to feed my husband rotten fish.
What is this shit?
What?
Trying to get XC high on your stuff.
What?
What's this my shit?
That's yours. It is yours. Smell it. I meant the smell. Like what? To smell the peppers and see if it's go. Oh, okay. It's weird. Lucy. Oh, if I would hate that. I'll never lost my sense of taste. In fact, I'd say I like more things now. Okay, so I must just go and sniff some peppers. Muscle soreness was my bad symptom. Oh, I also had that. I feel like I climbed a mountain and crashed a motorcycle. Seems like we all had something in particular. Yeah. Well, I only realized that I'd always had tinnitus when I was like 25 or 27. Oh, okay. So you're gonna be like Baby Driver. Just drive around with music, with the headphones on all the time. Rotten fish as in Sturströmmen. What? Is that a thing? I don't know how to say that.
Okay, quick question for you.
Right.
Why would he have to have the intention to declassify it?
Well, like, I guess.
Okay, quick question. This is really a quick question. Why? The intention. To have it declassified. He doesn't clean his own ears. Actually, he does.
I guess it depends. Whatever is the process of having these documents be secret in the first place or declassified in the first place.
Okay, so we get back to this original question. So first of all, them being secret, there is a process around which people make something secret. And just because it's stamped classified doesn't make it classified. It has to be that the classifier of the document reasonably believes it's necessary classification for the purposes of national security.
Okay, so he's going law. He's going law thing. This discussion doesn't make any sense. Remember when you exploded your microwave? I didn't explode my microwave. I exploded a bowl in my microwave. The worst smelling canned fish ever created. Oh, is that what Nico's talking about? Isn't that Swedish? It's gross, no matter what it is.
Security. So that's the first step. The second question is much more complicated, though, because all of the president or all of the executive authority is vested in the president.
It's not a kink. I'm not turned on by it. For fuck's sake, Andrew. It's a Swedish fermented fish thing. Fermented. Ugh. You're supposed to eat it like a pickle. A small amount of it. Ugh. I'll eat a pickle. I will not eat pickled fish. No thanks.
What process can be levied on a president for the purposes of declassification?
But it has to be an intentional process. It can't be an accidental process. Because I don't even understand how that would work. What do you mean?
If the president declassifies something, it's declassified. I mean, this would be the legal theory.
Right.
So then you go, well, he had to intend to declassify it. And you say, why does he have to intend to declassify something? Maybe the act of walking outside of a secure location with a classified document is a constructive declassification of that document.
Maybe selling it to the Russians declassifies it.
But my taste can't be that great if I'm watching your show. But exactly, David. Exactly.
You know what?
Okay. Right. I
Maybe
don't even
you
on a
suffered in
president
other
or
ways.
classification for the purposes of national security. Classified doesn't make it classified. This original question. So first of all, them being secret, there is a process around which people make something secret. And just because it's stamped classified doesn't make it classified. It has to be that the classifier of the document reasonably believes it's necessary classification for the purposes of national security.
I mean, I would imagine the argument is still that he would have to have the intention to declassify, not simply, by like, if he had a secret document in his back pocket and realized it and walked out of the White House, like it wouldn't magically declassify it. Well, like, I guess it depends. Whatever's the process of having these documents be secret in the first place or declassified in the first place.
Okay, so he's just saying that. But that's going back. This legal versus moral point is just nothing. In my opinion, Nick is somewhat coping here. Even Trump himself admitted that he would have to declassify it. He should have declassified it, but now he can't. Yeah, but this is legal cope. It's like, well, you can wiggle around this. You can say, hey, it's not how it's supposed to go. That's it. He's doing the legal thing here. It's legal. Is it legal? Is it not? It's he's saying there is you could say it's a technicality. It sounds like he's saying Trump should win on a technicality, basically. Win as in not be prosecuted. Loot fisk is fish treated with lye until it becomes gelatinous. Sometimes I question my ancestors. Oh, God. Oh. No, thank you. Nick loves to do that. Yeah, to get all lawyery and then ignore the moral. This is they're talking past each other. We're 44 minutes in and they've just started talking past each other. Because he's like, why would he need it to be have the intention to have it declassified? Why would he need the intention to have it declassified? Then Sitch's answer is because it's the process. For the process to happen. Like, he wants the process to happen. That's what I'm getting here. Literally, Nick just says, why would he have to have the intention to declassify it? Why would he have to have the intention to declassify it? Well, I guess it depends. Whatever is the process of having these documents be secret in the first place, or declassified in the first place. Why? Because it's the process. That's basically what Sitch is saying. If ex-president can take super secret papers and wave them around to somebody else who is not authorized in an unsafe location after admitting he is doing a big bad, then law should be changed. Yeah, if that's okay, that's exactly it. That's what I was thinking. Hydra is like, if this legal, like slippery is to be believed, then there has to be some law in place. So he's a know-it-all. Most lawyers are. Yeah, well, they spent a lot of time knowing stuff. They drink and know stuff. That's Nick. Because it's the process. Okay, back to the question.
Okay, so we get back to this original question. So first of all, them being secret, there is a process around which people make something secret. And just because it's stamped classified doesn't make it classified. It has to be that the classifier of the document reasonably believes it's necessary classification for the purposes of that.
Reasonably believes. My God. Okay, so here we go. We've got the... okay, so he goes back to the... So here's the process. Okay, to classify, not just a stamp, it's person, what? The document, the classifier of the document reasonably believes it's necessary classification for the purpose of national security. So it's the first step. Second question is much more complicated. No. There has to be something that declares the thing classified, though. Just because there's someone who thinks it should be classified, there is a process that's yes, okay, cool. Step one, Okay, cool. What is the SEC2? And he says it's more complicated, which is fun for me, isn't it? Beginning to regret doing this. The problem then becomes that it limits a president's declassification powers because it's impossible to know when or where documents have been declassified. It is possible to, though. It already is. Well, how? I don't know. What do you mean already is? What, when people became aware of it, that's how we know. Some people cared 100%, both with when Trump and Biden did it. They should know about it. They don't, if they don't. Since it's needed for a president to do their job, essentially. Lawyers are like accountants. I'm glad they're around, but I hate that we need them. That is 100%. 100 cement. Exactly. Oh shit, I kept clicking on that and now, no, never mind. Ugh. It doesn't want to let me click on the 100. David. I was trying to click on the 100 react for you. This button is horrible. It's right there in my face and I can't do anything with it. Okay, classified is not just a stamp. It's... Okay, we got the reasonable person classifier. Reasonably thinks it's a matter of national security. Okay.
National security. So that's the first step. The second question is much more complicated, though, because all of the executive authority is vested in the president. What process can be levied on a president for the purposes of declassification?
Okay, so then he spoke about class. Then the second step is okay. Then his other question is declassification. What process can be levied on? So yeah, lawyer talk. If this is not something that we know, then isn't this something that should be defined? It's not defined, so that's the thing. That's the weakness that I suppose Nick would be going for. But that doesn't mean you can just grab them on your way out. But if everyone else is doing it, then maybe it's assumed it's okay. Easily declassified shouldn't equal you can yoink it and leave office, then put it in a random place and admit you shouldn't have talked about it. Depressed it's the president's right to bring any and all document related to the presidency, more or less, and generally they have others pack it up for them, so it's basically treated as it's declassified already, or else it's be hard for those personnel to help pack it all up, I think. Nope, you can just label it on the cover. Like, don't pack it up. They often don't even label it though, since there is no official process. Yeah, it seems very murky, and maybe it should be really, this is quite an oversight if that's the case.
But it has to be an intentional process. It can't be an accidental process. Because I don't even understand how that would work. What do you mean?
If the president declassifies something, it's declassified. I mean, this would be...
Oh, but now we're starting to argue about whether you can just declassify it magically.
The legal theory.
Right.
So then you go, well, he had to intend to declassify it. And you say, why does he have to intend to declassify something? Maybe the act of walking outside of a secure location with a classified document is a constructive declassification of that document.
Oh my god, that is quite... Look, it's very murky. Okay, so he's like... Maybe walking outside of a secure location with the document is declassification. Wouldn't that be compromising the classification, not declassification? Okay. Basically, there is an official process for everyone but the president. That does, yeah, that's what people, I suppose, are like, hello about. Declassified as of 22, for example. If it isn't in what? If it isn't, then how the fuck that it isn't an oversight? Yeah, no, it is. It is. Like, wow, like I can understand and like the practicalities of packing things up and things like that. That's not an excuse. It's an oversight. It's a loophole. It honestly, it feels like whoopsie poopsie. So yes, just because yeah, you could, if there were the right laws in place, you could get Trump for this. There isn't, so it's like, what do we do? But I guess we'll see, because he will be prosecuted for this stuff. Is being prosecuted. I've not looked into it at all. I haven't really had much interest in Trump for a long time. But yeah, I guess this is very important, and it's quite crazy for Americans. It's like former presidents being charged. Guys, I've got a story for you. You guys talking about former presidents have being charged in court and things. Oh, very big, scary, big, scary. South Africa. I'll just say that. But also, our former president, Jacob Zuma, check him out. He went to jail for an hour before his sentence was like removed, because he's a non-violent criminal, so he's just gonna crowd the prisons. So he basically was in jail for an hour. So go and look that up. The next time you're upset about being in America, look up Jacob Zuma. Anyway, let's see. I know a tiny bit about information security, Kitty. Nick is just wrong here. You're breaking security, not an act of declassification, even if you are the president, especially if you are the ex-president. Yeah, no, I agree with you. I agree with you, Hydra. It's that's quite a cope. That is deliberate, like, misinterpretation, because you are like, come on, man. You, for real, you're saying, oh well, I've magically declassified it. The intent is what makes it that I brought it outside of the business or the premises to declassify it. That's what intent would lead. Intent is actually a charitable thing Sitch can be giving giving Trump, by saying, well, at least give him, if he has the intent to do it, then maybe then it does magically. Yeah, so I agree with you. That was a burn. Got to love lawyering. Lawyering is insane. You keep using the word. I do not think you know what it means. What, American? That was a burn. I have to judge the films for a film festival, and I don't want to think I can do that while watching the stream. Yes, you can. It's brain dead enough. Our stream is brain dead enough. It'll be nice and monotonous. We will help you. Exactly, Lucy. It's a slippery slope to agree with Hydra. Kitty, didn't you guys have a president that stole 20 million for a mansion repair or something? Several? Yeah. Yes, the fire pool. Look up the fire pool. It's a lot of money, a lot more money than 20 million. And our current president is also under fire for certain things. I think most of leaders do a whole bunch of no-nos while they're in power, but unlike others, maybe Trump made more than enough enemies and they didn't look the other way as they usually would. That's what I think, Nico. Honestly, that's where I stand with it. It's just like, it's all very egregious and scary. And we all go, oh my God, that happens. And it's just like, well, yeah. That's what I think. I just think that a lot of the stuff just goes untold, and it's not new. That doesn't make it right. I mean, if we're gonna say, oh well, everybody else did it, no, it just means that now this comes to light and put the process in then. Just straight up classification has nothing to do with the president. He has unilateral executive authority. I'm good at judging bad things. I'm not that important. This is for the Central Bureau of Form. It's CAF. Okay.
Maybe selling it to the Russians declassifies it.
You know what?
That's pretty funny. Adam just has to bring in the jokes. Okay. Making outside notification code is declassification. Adam, fine. Selling it to the Russians. You know what? I also think that happened with the dynamic here, and yes, Nick did have nice things to say about Sitch and Adam afterwards, but I do think what happened is Nick is used to being the one with the quick mouth and the jokes, and Adam went in there. So they, like I said in the previous stream, there's two loudmouths basically, two wise guys just having a good old snippety snap at each other, and that kind of dynamic, they need to one up each other. So I feel like that happened, but that's okay. Ugly feet equals terrible opinions. My feet are not ugly, okay? I'm just gonna have a good look at my feet right now. I don't have ugly feet. They're not ugly. They're not ugly. I feel like I'm being manipulated into sharing foot pics. You've seen, you haven't seen my actual feet, but you've seen the tops of my feet. How could you even ask that? Information security. Your nation's enemies could now be empowered because of the slip up. Obviously, is a proper way to do this other than just yoink. Yes, I think I'm gonna put that there. There are other ways than yoink. Do this other than yoink. The yoink law came into effect in 2024. Ask Gordon. Did Gordon say that I have ugly feet? Show your feet. Full disclosure. I'll paint my toenails first. I have great feet. Let's go. I just had them lengthened. Now they'll go all the way up. All the way up. Feet disclosure. Listen, I feel like I'm being manipulated into sending the pics. It's not that I think that they're pretty. I just think that they're not Brie Larson feet. Jeez. I'm gonna guys put a Brie Larson in the memes channel. Brie Larson foot pic in the memes channel so that I can send it to my husband and be like, are these my feet? And then see what happens. Feet are gross. You see? You're so weird. There's people that find feet gross. Like, what's wrong with feet? They're so disturbed by feet. I'm like, you know you have them. And they're like, yes, they disturb me. I don't like looking at them. There's people that are freaked out by feet. I am neither freaked out nor turned on by feet. Strawberry Pop-Tarts are gross. Are they? I don't know. I don't have Pop-Tarts. My husband has hobbit feet. Aww! I think Gordon has too. The sparkle Pop-Tarts are gross. But what exactly is a Pop-Tart? Which means giving Congress power over the president and information. That's the basic trade-off. Presidents can potentially expose sensitive information over Congress keeping. Yeah, they think secret. That was the other thing that you bring up there. Yeah. Listen, but feet themselves aren't gross. Like people that are disturbed by feet, they don't like that there's little toes. They freaked out because they think something about their brain is like, no, they have crazy hands. That's what's happening. Nobody's a feet guy until they are. It's a matter of should government and Congress be able to keep all the secrets they want, which is worse in the end. Well, that is a good question. Do they talk about this? I hope that they do. Lucy has hairy toes. No, Lucy's husband. Pay attention! The idea of classification at all is legally dubious. The government can outlaw information. Tell me where it says that in the Constitution. Interesting. Look at all of this commentary. I have size 13.5 feet. They are like flippers. That doesn't make them ugly. The thing is, yeah, it's about security. That's it. I personally lean towards president having more power since that's easier to control. I will put that there, but we do have to continue to the thing. Holy Toledo, you know what they say about big feet? Big shoes. I had a dude message me asking me for feet pics. I said no, but for $50 he called me names and told I was dumb. It was just feet pics. Jesus. Anyway, let's continue.
The interesting thing about that would be a president selling classified documents to a foreign country would be two actually plenary authorities of the president. One, again, classification is the executive authority, and then Supreme Courts have long held that the executive is the sole agent of the sole organ of foreign relations, the sole organ test, and the Supreme Court will refuse to rule on the propriety of an executive's actions towards a foreign government because it can't. Because in the Constitution, all of the authority of the executive, including foreign relations, would have been vested in the president. Now,
that's pretty scary.
You're not in favor, though, of that kind of standard, right? Where selling classified documents to foreign powers declassifies them, even if there is some sort of legal loophole.
We're speaking in the hypothetical, but I mean that is the Constitution. I don't know.
I'm asking you your personal opinion, though. Obviously, we can't have our elected leaders selling classified documents to foreign nations.
They do,
even if they can find a loophole.
But they do, though, right? Like we understand that our executive branch gives classified information to foreign governments with regularity.
Yeah. Well, I'm talking like with the intent to profit, surreptitiously. Obviously, we do share information with other powers. So,
okay, so you're saying I personally sell state secrets.
Yeah. That's the only reason why I brought it up. Look, so I get it.
What it may violate would be emoluments, where he's enriching himself at the behest of a foreign government.
Look, I want it to be clear too. I don't think Trump did any of that.
No.
I don't think Trump. Look, I think Trump was collecting souvenirs. He wanted to keep stuff. Like I've heard people say, he was just holding newspapers. He didn't have classified documents, which makes no sense to me. Like if you listen to the tape, the cool thing about the documents is that they're fucking classified. Like he's like, this is like, I mean, if he wanted to make a case that he was lying about them actually being classified just because it's so much cooler, I would believe him.
Yeah, I can see Trump doing that just because it's cool. I can see him doing that. Nothing sinister. I don't think it's that. But then again, it really depends on how much credit you want to give him. Unsolicited feed pics. I'm lost. Who is 5 foot and talking about height or in pants? I think feet are gross mainly because they are the nastiest part of my body. Feet are less disturbing than earwax and pimples. Yes. Yes, they are. Feet are a natural thing that need to be there. Like if you are pushing feet and pushing them away, or cutting them off and things, that's not a good thing. I agree. I already clarified that. Feet are icky. They're not icky. Oh my god. But they're not interesting either. They're just feet. They're like noses. Oh, I'm getting a migraine. Come on, stop it. Okay. Send kitty taint pics. No, thank you. Jesus. Toe pics. Okay, so declassifies it, maybe there, okay, there everybody laughs. But you'd agree. Noses are nice. I like noses. Feet are gross. Feet blisters. If feet blisters are things, that's that's part of the whole idea of the pimple poppers. And for My Feet Are Killing Me. Go and watch that. There's a whole ass show about it. You'd agree that it isn't a good standard selling info. What about armpits? They're just armpits. Again, that's the same. It's a body part. Like there's no. I like all the body parts. I guess like the only armpits are like the same as feet. Yes, they're just things. That's it. They're parts. Selling info to foreign power. Okay, and he's just I don't know, I feel like he's debate brained and he's gotten too lawyery about this. Yeah, guys, I'm actually I've got a headache. I'm gonna let this go for 2 more minutes. I know I've got excuses, but
because it seemed like he was just showing off. Yeah.
Yeah, but okay, so I know about the taped phone call and stuff. I don't know the context of it. I don't know because
Wait, have you listened to it? Come on.
No, I haven't listened to it. But listen,
really,
here's the reason.
Bring it up. Bring up the tape. It's amazing.
no. Okay, I'm not interested in this sort of stuff. Oh my, Nick just doesn't want to be wrong about Trump. That's true. I'm sorry for that. Are you drunk, Mysterious? Okay, what I do want to do is first of all, I'll have a look at memes. So just hold up. Just turn this off for a sec. Dude, well, come on. Whole screen mask. Yeah, whole screen. Off you go. Yes, I am drunk. Okay, hold up. Discord. Ending stream. Yeah, I'm going towards memes and then I'm ending stream. I've had enough of this. Until evidence is presented in court. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about the Trump stuff. Yeah, you know what? It's fine to have it just, you know, have it be up in the air at the moment. Hold up. Let's go to me. There's movies, videos, memes. Okay. I love that so much. Okay, hold on. Open. I love that so much. Okay, hold on. I'm opening all of them up for you guys. Nico's hilarious. What happened? Oh wait, that's a save. Giga Kitty. Okay. Open. Okay, that'll be the last. Kitty was exercising too hard. Not too hard. Okay. There we go. We shall open the memes. Sorry, guys. Come on, man. There you go. Yoink! Mine now. The yoink method is a thing, guys. Uh-oh. Just Purdy Things versus Ethan Klein. Sargon versus Vouch. Maybe I go back. It just ended my stream right before I flushed. Ew. I'm biased for Trump, but I try and be as objective as I can rather think about what is happening. Anyone want to bet on what color Gray's hair will be on Stinker's stream Thursday? I think that's fun. Okay, so this is Nico. Let me just check if you guys can hear. Kthxbai was exercising too hard. Not too hard, not hard enough. Not hard enough. Oh, lovely. I love that so much. Oh my goodness. That was great. Nico, you're amazing. Ah, that's hilarious. I'm actually gonna keep that like on like as a motivator. As like a motivator, just have this do with the kitty cat doing the sit-ups and everything. It's so cute. Oh, let me see if there's AI art here. Just hold on. AI art. We've got book suggestions. There's no more AI art stuff here. No new stuff. Oh, well, there's Jab. You guys want to see Jab? There's Jab. There's a whole bunch of SCUFF. But then there's also this, which is supposed to be thinkers. Very interesting. I think Gray is there. That's Gray, yeah. Who wants to be vinegar? Who wants to be wine? Who is noodles? And what's happening with the legs? That's a very interesting set of events. It did not work. Yeah. It's interesting though. But yeah, here are the SCUFF. Which I don't know if they're for item or SCUFF. I think this is for SCUFF because of the luscious locks. These are all very cool. Although there was an eyeball, a funny eyeball at some point. Look, there's holes in the face. These are too fabulous. Like the look of the fabulous. Duck-faced. Don't feel like... SCUFF is cool too, I guess. Pendragon stuff is my favorite, the new stuff. The new Pendragon stuff? Just hold on. This one. For Pendragon. Not this one. She liked this one. Oh, guys, hold on. Did you guys not see? No, you did see. You did see her Ali's drawing, right? Did you guys see Ali's drawing? Did you see it? Bob Ali. Nico, that's a good one. Anyways, hold up. I think that's about it, guys. I was gonna go and do some other stuff. No, I want to see. Oh, what did you see? Okay, it's. I'll bring it bigger. Just hold on. If I can just Axel. I'll make it bigger. She did some really nice shading. She just draws so beautifully. So yeah, I got to keep it. Here's my drawings. Mind maps. And all notes and stuff. Don't think I've got any drawings that I would want to show you. That's why we have. Oh, this. Yeah, you guys didn't see this. How cute! Or did you see it before? I don't know if I showed this to you. She was just doing some Pikachus. How cute is this? We love Ellie. Kitty has the Stranger Things haircut. Yes, we know this. Old news. Okay, I saw a mid drawing. Yeah. Okay, guys. So yes, a reminder that looks like stuff. A reminder that we have Atomic Habits as our current book, and go into the book, what's the name is? The book suggestions, part of the Discord, if you are interested in which books we'll do next. If you're not on the Discord yet, please come and join us via this link. She's big mad. Who's mad? I'm not big mad. I think this is the outro.
Go and subscribe, you shit.
Yeah, that was the look, our widgets are even working. Our little transition says go and subscribe, you shit. I don't know if you heard that. Peace and chicken grease. Yeah, I'll see you guys in Sitch and Adams. Maybe I don't know if I was first. But yeah, see you there. Yes, go forth, be merry. Thank you for sticking around with me through the technical difficulties as usual. Yeah, I appreciate you all very much. Thank you for coming along. Thank you, Nico, for the memes as usual. And yeah, I will see you in the next one. Okay, thanks. Bye. Have a nice life.